We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
I did. Oh, wow! Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blabs. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers.
Okay, you ready? Open wide!
Hi, everybody. I'm sorry. It's me today. You don't have Craig. He ditched me. I'm really sorry. If I get this channel canceled, it'll be going out with a bang. But you know what? It's fine because I have Kay who woke up 20 minutes ago because I was like, help me!
I'm awake. I'm here. And if you're talking about getting a channel canceled, I mean, I can't stop swearing all the time, so good luck.
Thank you. Good
It
luck,
might happen
everybody.
today.
I did tell you in the poll chat on the tube side, I was like, it's time for Side Scrollers. Jesus, take the wheel, or hell nah, you guys pick. But also, who was just eating a banana very seductively on stream,
Gross!
I must say, and who hates bananas too. Hi, Savvy.
Good morning.
Did you just roll out of bed too?
I did.
Am I the only one who hasn't just rolled out of bed?
Probably.
Probably. I mean, I was in and out of bed, but I was playing a lot of Vampire Survivors. Are you guys playing that? Holy smokes, the Castlevania DLC is amazing.
No.
I don't know if anyone out there is playing it, but I'm like addicted. It's good. So yes,
Why?
I was half awake. What do you mean, what? It's Vampire Survivors.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
2-minute review. Hang on, we're doing it live before we even do the intro.
I just woke up! You want me to review
It's
Vampire?
time for a 2-minute review.
Yeah.
What the? Okay, anyways. Vampire Survivors, great game. Ponkle, go follow them. Great devs, actually really care about gamers. And they're huge Castlevania fans. And so they came out with this game a while back. Super small, super cheap, like a few bucks. And all you have to do is go around and you automatically shoot things and you're hitting waves of enemies and you upgrade. And it's got like a little casino mechanics to it, I guess, because you open loot boxes and they go crazy. Woo! And shiny, bright flashes happen. It's a lot of fun. You upgrade things. You got Bibles. You got garlic. Look, I'm team garlic. I have to play every run with garlic. So yes, anyways. So they were inspired by Castlevania, and they just got Castlevania DLC, which to me is a huge accomplishment for indie gaming. Super, super cool. Trying not to say too many swear words, but it's amazing.
Yeah, we just started
so
3
glad.
minutes ago. You can't.
Exactly. I have to wait 4 more minutes, and then I'll swear a lot.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic. If you haven't downloaded this Castlevania DLC, you need to. It's super cheap, and you get so much value out of it. So play the game. Get addicted like me.
Okay, thanks, Kay.
It's time for a 2-minute review.
Anyway, hello chat. Welcome to Side Scrolls. It's Thursday. Like I said, Craig ditched us like 20 minutes before going live. And he's like, how do you feel about doing it all yourself? And I was like, well, not like I have a choice, but here we are anyway. So, anyway, you can
I've been abandoned.
Yeah, literally 20 minutes before going live, here I was doing my own stuff, minding my own business, and then I get a call, and he's like, hi, and I was like, whatever it is, I didn't do it, because that's usually how I pick up the phone whenever Craig calls me, because that usually means I did something wrong. So, anyway, you can find us, guys, over on Rumble, over on XCon Give It To You. You can find us over on Instagram. We have an Instagram, don't we, Blabs? Yes, we do. Follow us for memes and clips of the show. Otherwise, Savvy's going to throw her bananas at you, and Kay's going to hit you with a bunch of garlic. So, in your face. And we also have an Apple podcast, a Kick, Spotify, and we have a new shorts channel that, yes, I finally figured out how to title things over on Opus for the YouTube short size. No, not everything is titled MP4 anymore. You're welcome. You can find all the links down below, including Savvy's and K's over on the tube sides, especially. Okay, I did it. So what's new with you guys? How you doing? Yeah, they just woke up. They're
Also,
struggling.
Oh, I didn't want to talk first. I didn't know it was being addressed.
girl, you talk all you want. Just saying.
Oh gosh. Well,
I just want to say, first of
if
all,
we're gonna start lamenting,
we have
Is it time for flaccid news already? Are we there yet? Okay,
Oh.
go on.
What is flaccid news?
That's when I say it's before hard news. It's a little flaccid news.
Yeah, we gotta have a little bit of a tease session. You know, we gotta get the news excited. We gotta wake up.
Wait, where's the music?
What did I
Where's the
sign up
music?
for today?
Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's gone.
We don't just bite the pillow and go in dry with the hard news. We gotta ease into it.
Exactly. And I just want to point out that Craig deleted all the background music except for like 4 of them, so that sucks. I don't have
You guys
the
have
cool
background music?
Yeah, there was some. It gives it to you on StreamYards. There's like the Feed the Ducks one and everything that's like really weird and raunchy.
Have you ever used it while I've been around?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we never use it, but
really
I just like
fuck
to
with
use them
me.
sometimes. Anyway. Okay, anyway, guys, let me hit up some super chats real fast before I get into gaming history. Beardo's Dummy Thick Peach for 10 says, is this the first official Bushcast? Yikes, bro, you shouldn't say that. Well, actually, we've had side-scrollers plenty of time, so you're just new here, Beardo's Dummy Thick Peach. Abdulia says, it's Normal Women Day here on side-scrollers. Listen, if you think we're normal, then I'm sorry.
I understand the meme, but it doesn't meme well when I'm involved.
Or me.
Yeah.
This could be a big train going off the rails today.
Yeah. By the way, I lowered your mic, but now you're a little bit too low. So let me boost you back up. Okay. And Jason says, for the girl power stream. Yes, good luck, everybody. And I'm very sorry. Anyway. Okay. Let's just get into it, guys. It's time for some gaming history. So, did you guys know that on November 7th, which is today, Crash Bash was released back in 2000. Mario Party 7 was released in 2005, and then we have Gears of War releasing back in 2006. And I have to tell you guys that today is actually a huge banger of games that came out this day through all of time. And listen, Craig can't even shit on me for this because I'm the one who put this list in the document. So let me just go over this with you guys. So this is where I find all my sources, just so you guys are aware. And look,
Wait, Mario Kart Double Dash came out today?
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't put
And
that
you
on the
put
list?
Crash Bash.
Dude, I freaking love Crash Bash as a kid. I
Wait,
played that
Mario
all the
Kart
time.
Double Dash, arguably the greatest racing game that has ever existed in the history of racing games. And you
Abby's
put
channeling her inner Craig
Crash
right now.
Bash.
put somebody else in place of Mario Kart Double. No, Mario Kart Double Dash is one of the. I'm not pulling a Craig, all right? Craig pulls Craigs because Craig is Craig, all right? I am doing this for the passion and the respect of the greatest racing game to ever exist in the history of gaming.
That's what you think is the best one ever?
Okay, look, I'm not a Mario Kart
I've
fan,
never
but
played Bash.
what?
I never had a GameCube.
Listen, I am not a Mario Kart fan. I think it's kind of slop. I'm a Diddy Kong Racing supremacist, if we're
fuck
being
yeah.
real. But Double Dash is like fantastic. Like I can't even sit here and hate on Mario Kart for that alone because it's so good.
Yeah, it changed.
And you put in Crash Bash.
I freaking love Crash Bash. Whatever you die, you failed.
You know, I'm seeing a lot of biasness here in your lists that you make.
Yeah, that's the point. All of you guys.
Huh? Just seeing some bias here.
That's the point. Anyway, guys, we also have Call of Duty 3, which I did put on the list, so you're welcome. Digimon World DS,
Fuck yeah.
Guitar Hero 2. I mean, listen, obviously Kay's played Tony Hawk's Project 8, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah, no, I actually do love the Tony Hawk's games.
I didn't know they were still making them.
I just guessed. Wow, okay. There's still more to go on this list. Sonic Forces, Need for Speed, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, Magical Bakery, Mario and Luigi Brothership came out today. And we have Maximum Football, Metro Awakening, and River City Saga, which I've never heard of, but that's also out today. So lots of big games, and you're welcome.
You did pick good games otherwise until I saw Mario Kart Double Dash being on there. I was like, wow, Blabs did really great today.
Yeah, I was super excited for that list. And then you revealed yourself to be
you treachery.
It was the extra brag. It was the extra layer of like, no, guys, trust me, it's so good. Look at this
so
list.
good. But like, seriously, there is a lot of great games out today. Gears of War. Listen, Gears of War 2 also came out today.
Oh, did they? I didn't think that they did it on the same day.
Yeah.
So I've only played the first Gears of War. I'm not much of a shooter person. And I made it to like 90% of the game. Apparently, I'm like less than an hour of beating the game and I just randomly quit. So I think it's supposed to be good, but I can't actually review Gears of War properly. And I know I'm going to get hate for that. I do want to jump back into Gears of War because it
Even
was
I've
great.
played Gears of War, and I typically just stick to online games so I can make other humans cry because I get more joy from that than completing an actually exceptional game. But that game
troll. I like
is
that.
actually exceptional.
No, I've heard it's amazing. I want to play through this series, but you reminded
I've only
me.
ever
I'm like,
watched
oh my
the
God.
gameplay of them all. I've never actually physically played them myself.
It feels good to play. For me, I just recently got through some of Halo as well. I'm like, Halo's actually amazing. I can't believe I missed this. But yeah, Gears of War is up there. So
But
I
like,
get why
I've
people
never
love
played
it.
a game 90% way through and be like, you know what? I'm out. I'm done. I don't want to know how it
It's
ends. The climax, who cares? You know?
so me. It's so me. I'm notorious for this. I'll be like, I'm bored. I'm gonna go play like Mario Party Jamboree or something. And it's like, what? This is a completely different game. Like, what are you doing? I'm
Savvy
good.
regrets
See.
all decisions coming on today.
Yeah,
She's like,
you
why did
should.
I do this to myself?
You
Why?
should absolutely regret all of it.
How you doing there, Sav?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Doing great. I'm gonna go play Call of Duty later and make sure I can make some people cry because I'm about to cry right now and that makes me uncomfortable.
Oh, okay. No, actually, speaking of Call of Duty, so I have not played Call of Duty in about a year, and I've only ever played like the Warzone ones. But I hear Zombies is really, really fun. Have you done Zombies yet?
So my husband had me tag in for him because some people wouldn't let him leave and he just wanted the stupid, he just wanted to finish, but they wouldn't accept that they were going nowhere.
Oh, like
And
the Easter eggs, you mean? Like finding Easter eggs?
no, so it was just a random lobby and they're like,
Oh.
oh yeah, we made it to level 37 or whatever, we're going to keep going, man. They shouldn't have kept going, but I have to say the map is not, I need to play it proper because all I did was tag in. It feels like somebody
Really
with
small.
half a brain created this game. I don't know if they're trying to make it easier. It's much easier to run loops. Like, again, my first time on the map and I can instantly spot all of the loops. And then it's, I don't know. It's weird. The AI for it also feels weird. I'm not saying that it's not fun. It's it's easy, mindless fun, but God, did they really dumb it down?
I think they really did, and I hear like the maps are really, really small in comparison. Now, supposedly the secret is for like Warzone, there's going to be a huge update in like the next couple of weeks. So if it's actually good, I might go back because I actually miss playing FPS shooter games. So
Yeah.
every time I pick up a new one, it seems to just go to shit. Like I used to play Apex a lot, and that's kind of end now. I used to play the finals a lot. The finals was super fun, and I don't play
Who's
that anymore
that?
because everyone doesn't play it anymore. It's like just died, and I was like, And the X Defiant also died, so.
Well, I don't know if it's permanently been added, but I know Nuketown came back. I actually meant to play this past weekend, but I was too busy. So if Nuketown's a permanent resident, then I'll definitely hop back on the Call of Duty train. But the new maps look awful.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather go and do like Rebirth Island and all that, where there's actually big maps and you can not do loops in 2
Nuketown's
seconds.
the best because all you do is once you finally get your loop going and you run around and start stabbing people and tracking the spawn, you're golden. Nuketown is the best map to test your skill level because you can't run and hide.
Chat
No one
says
can
Nuketown
hide.
is super sweaty.
Oh, so
Super
good.
sweaty. Anyway, before we get into the hard news, let me just grab these super chats. Snapple Rivi says, "Hey Kay, can you tell the rest of us how great RAR is on the Switch and your extensive knowledge of The Office? Thank you."
Snapple, first of all, this is fake news, and you know this. You know this. You are framing me, good sir. Raroff is the worst game to ever exist. If anyone is curious, we've streamed it on our channel like once a month at this point because our audience likes to torture me. It is this really, can I swear yet? It's been over 7 minutes.
I said fuck a lot.
Shitty fucking shovelware game. It is the worst fucking party game I've ever fucking seen in my life. It's so bad. And
Good
they
morning,
love to see me
everybody.
play
Here's
it.
Kay.
It's like torture for me. So we will be playing it again at the end of this month for 20 minutes because that's what our community has decided they want me to do. And also, I do not write Office fan fiction. I don't know where this came from. I said The Office was okay and there was like 2 funny jokes. There's 2
What's your
funny
favorite
jokes.
pairing?
I don't have a favorite pairing. I don't know who any of them are. There's
Man,
one
that can
guy
be
that
funny.
drops
It's fine.
beans, and it's really funny when he drops the beans. Okay, that's all I know about The Office.
Is that the reference to something within the community who are hyper obsessed with it?
No, I don't know. There's a guy that drops beans. He makes like a chili, and then it falls. And I thought
Is
it was
that what
funny.
they're calling it these days? All right, that's interesting.
Damn it.
Going into
I
the
blame
paper
you, Snapple.
closet and dropping beans.
I don't
All
like
right.
The Office at all. I've been framed.
Hey, man, you know what? Everybody likes their fiction a certain way, and if The Office does it for you, that's totally fine.
Anyway, I had to break that up. All right, Frostlord over on Rumble for $1, and then but he repeated himself twice, so it's technically $2. Says, "Don't let Savvy bring you down, Blabs. I'm a big fan of Crash Bash too. That game was the shit on the PlayStation 1. My sister and I used to play that all the time. Like I said, when you die, it's like you failed. And then you float away like a little angel. Freaking love it.
I miss those screens when it used to say you failed.
I think you can't do that anymore now because it's just like, oh, you hurt
Oh,
my
I would.
feelings.
I would
Now
make
it
the
just
most
says your journey
unforgiving
has
game.
ended.
Make a game that roasts me. I'm so in. Are you kidding me?
That's what
I
Kay
love
really
it.
likes, guys.
Yeah, I
Roast
do.
her.
Be like, your life is over. You died here. That's it. You're done. You're dead.
Just
in real
shows up
life
with a
now.
bottle of bleach.
Yeah, exactly.
Betty
Like,
Midler
that's it.
style. It's fine. Anyway, Crazy T says, "Hey, ladies, happy Thursday." Thank you, Crazy. John says, "Craig having a self-love mani-pedi day to recover from Kamala's loss." No, he's actually taking his daughter to remove her her braces. Gear says, "Hi, ladies. It's been a while. I can't wait to expose more dim lights vouching from Kamala. And some SBI lunatics trying to bribe poor Craig." Yeah.
Wait, what?
See? Yeah, I
Right.
don't know what the last bit is. Have I missed something here? Anyway, we'll find that out. Mastagawa says, "Savvy's here, no Craig being homo. Best episode ever. I lament Savvy's burnt meat curtains, but you know what Mastagawa always says? If it looks like roast beef, make a sandwich out of it. Hashtag side scroll hers." So I want to understand what this burnt meat curtains
There's
mean.
nothing to understand. In this instance, I think it's better if you just take the words as a literal roast beef sandwich than me trying to explain to you what the hidden meaning is.
Well, I thought you actually burnt your curtains whilst cooking, so I guess that's
You know
no.
what? Yes, Blabs. Yes, I did. I burnt my curtains because for some reason the designer of the house put the stove in front of a window as if they were playing The Sims 4 for the first time.
Anyway, thanks, Mastagawa. Bike Short Senpai Latina Breeder says, "Thank you, Savvy, for keeping the tradition of shitting on Blabs for her list." Yeah, thanks, Sav. But you know what? She still agrees that Crash Bash is a good game.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's just Double Dash is and should be the standard of racing games in terms of creativity. And the fact that they haven't ported it back over or done a different version of it since forever makes me salty with Nintendo, but goddamn will I keep giving them my money because I'm part of the problem.
You are part of the problem. And we have lots of problems for you later, actually. Kratos El Grado says, "Do you have access to direct donations today?" Unfortunately, I do not. I'm sorry. I no longer have the password or whatever it is. I logged myself out and I never got back in, and I don't know how to now. So anyway, Solon the Lich says, "Craig Norm Owlman the First has been deposed by General Blabs and her non-violent army. Please save us." I have a non-violent army now. Anyway, Games a Lot said, "That's it. Give my first super chat ever for Ladies' Days. Bless you all, normal men. Can I do a shameless plug?" Absolutely. Got some special presidential tree ornaments made. Barkwood Co. on the webs. All right, guys. Thank you for the 20 and check him out. Barkwood Co. on the webs for ornaments. Wampa Stompa says, "Vampire Survivors rules. I gifted it to everyone on my Steam friends list.
Yes.
Fucking Zero GX is the best racing game." I feel
That's
like I actually
taste.
have
That's
Vampire.
taste.
That's
right there.
classy. This is a classy individual.
F-Zero GX. That's king shit right there. I'm in.
This person does their taxes on time.
Yes. Twice.
Savvy's like, "That's so hot, dude. You do your taxes on time. Tell me more about budgeting." Ugh, spreadsheets. Anyway, Ed Song for 5 says, "I only played Gears so I can chainsaw someone into biddies. And after the first 3, the plot just went flopped over. YouTube really not healing today. Or helping, maybe." Yeah, I hear after the 3rd one, it kind of goes downhill. And that is going to be what? Gears of War 6 coming out soon? Isn't it? 6?
Jesus Christ, they've really milked it.
Yeah, Deb says, "Girl boss side scrollers time. Here's 5 DEI dogs in support of diversity." Thanks, Dev. Mastagawa says, "Happy days. I got Jeremy to watch a trailer yesterday. You should watch one too to support a great indie game. Love you, Blabs and Savvy and K." Do not ignore the precious K. Blade says, "Just booted up my total legit PC Double Dash port on my other screen now." Thanks, Blade. For 10. You guys are being very generous right now. Punny Badger for 5 says, Savvy, can you still do parkour? If yes, you should make a video. Wait, you do parkour?
I want to know more.
So that's
Tell me.
that's the
Is this lore?
lore. That's the lore implication on why I got rid of my honking honkers.
I'm sorry, what?
So, my boobs were too big. We've been over this. My boobs were too big, so I wanted to wiggle them down a bit through the power of fitness and eating well, so that way I could do parkour and not hurt my chest when I roll over concrete.
That's why you gave up boobs for concrete?
Yeah.
How'd that work out for you?
I had a lot of fun, and then I went to college, and it was very flat in Nebraska. And there's not a lot of buildings.
I just love that the entire chat is like rip.
That's so
it's
sad.
It's a big thing now.
Like, here's the thing. I was actually going to play this before we went live, but I forgot it. Here.
Titties.
Yeah, I just...
Have you seen something?
Some huge boobies.
Yeah, so... That's sad, Savvy.
I ruined the timeline by getting rid of my tits, because had I had the tits, I would have been the jiggle physics queen in the real world, and we would have never lost anything because everybody would have listened to me. And the moment that I would first say, down with the ESRB, they would have just dissolved out of respect for the honking titties. All right, so I ruined this. I'm sorry. I've ruined the timeline. I'm trying to fix it. Right.
So what you're saying is that if women have really big titties, it doesn't matter how stupid they are. Whatever they say just goes.
What do you mean? That's an intelligent statement.
No, not you. I'm saying in
This
general.
woman is railing against the ESRB.
No,
I have
I'm
mad
for what
respect for that.
Savvy's
Yeah,
saying.
they would listen to
for
me.
it. But I'm saying, like, if you just have big titties, everyone's
But
just
I would
supposed
have
to
two
listen.
massive points being made in the video. Down with the ESRB and down with censorship. Of course
They would
they'd listen.
literally have made ESRB 2 because of Savvy's big honkers. Just think about that. There would have been a sequel to the ESRB because
We
of
need a
that.
boob
It's
talk.
like Mortal
intro.
Kombat all over again.
We really do. Hang on.
I like your take on boobies.
I feel like I should have played that at first. I'm sorry. That's not me. I take full responsibility.
Good.
You guys have? Do you want to talk about it?
There's nothing more to really talk. I mean, I don't know. What kind of you want to talk? I don't want to talk about my titty situation. I like to appreciate titties.
Okay.
All right, here, I'll
a
give
woman
you
of
some titty life
culture.
advice. Titty life advice. If it's more than a handful, it's a wasteful. That's from the Itty Bitty Titty Brigade.
That
We
is
like
true.
to promote logic.
It is true. I've always heard that. If it's more than a handful, it's a waste. But
Well, then you
depends
can't
on how big a
enjoy
hand
all of
is.
it. You know, if your hands can't grasp everything, then you can't enjoy it.
Anyway, I feel like Craig is like, please stop talking now. He's probably watching from the
regrets
beyond.
everything.
Let's see. He's probably watching from the beyond and going, I'm going to fire all 3 of these women. Anyway, guys, let's just get into it. It's everyone's favorite section, especially Craig's. Okay, so in some random ass news that I've discovered this morning, massive underground ocean discovered containing 3 times more water than the oceans combined. Now, Savvy, you like this news, don't you?
I love this kind of news. I can't believe I didn't see it yet, but I was busy reading about Germany all morning.
Well, that's another question for another time. But anyway, yeah, so recently, groundbreaking scientific discoveries have been rolling out at a breathtaking pace, from astronomical research on what's inside a black hole to the majestic 8th continent and a North American lake larger than Great Lakes combined. We have a big-ass ocean. Fascinating, huh?
That's
Anyway,
all I
so-
took from this. Ocean big, I'm too dumb for this conversation.
Yes. It's basically big ocean, bigger than all the other oceans. It sounds like a Trump logo. Mine's gonna be better. It's gonna be the biggest and better stuff of them all.
So there's been long time theories about water being between 2 of the crusts or whatever, just because it makes sense as a buffer and for heat distribution or whatever. I remember that from one of my oceanography classes. But the fact that now I guess they've penetrated or had some sort of scan done where they can actually confirm it.
Never an opportunity to use the word penetration with you, is there?
Look, it comes out naturally.
It's just you're the only one I know who uses that word, and I'm like, should you though? Just because you can doesn't mean you should. You know what I'm saying?
I just, it's just part of the lexicon of scientists. There are things that penetrate, and it's important to use that powerful word when you need to.
Okay, thanks. Anyway, let's move on, guys. Let's just do a little quick palate cleanser from that. So actually, Melee Games shared this yesterday. And I want to preface that we've already seen this before, but this is edited. And so let's palate cleanser after whatever just Savvy just said. That's all I wanted to show.
I love
Okay,
that
I feel
clip
better
so
now.
much.
I feel better
It's the
now.
best.
Hey, thank you. Anyway, so I know Savvy's a huge Pokemon fan, but Kay, are you?
Yeah, I'm a Digimon person, so I love me some Digimon. Look, Pokemon did the games better. I have to concede there. It would be wrong for me to pretend otherwise, but I like the anime more for Digimon. So
Oh,
yes,
the
I love some
anime knocks
Pokemon.
it out of the park for sure. I will go out on a limb though and say that Digimon actually makes a more challenging game, which makes it more entertaining because if you try to learn the evolution chains, because any Digimon can become anything if you know the chain. That is honestly one of the reasons why I'm so autistic with my map making because I tried to memorize that shit. Good luck.
I have to look at all this. This is awesome. You actually map it out?
What, the Digimon stuff?
Like the evolution stuff and everything? That's
Well,
cool.
I know because I memorized it when I was little. Have you never seen the evolution map?
Well, I know the basics of it, but I didn't know it was like
so
a
the
huge
big
map.
evolution map is woo.
This is awesome.
You have to be
TLDR, yes.
autistic.
Yeah, I mean, I have some gamer autism, but I mean, there's levels that are unknown. But yes, Pokemon's great. Pokemon Coliseum, best game.
Yeah.
Okay, well, either of you guys like card collectors for Pokemon?
Obviously. Oh, I know where this is going.
The Pokemon Pandemonium? Yeah, I wanted to show this. It's been on the document like all week. But guys, this is at Costco, mind you.
I hate people.
Oh, I'm totally going to mute that. Isn't that insane? Like, that's just so rude. I understand grabbing a whole box, but damn, guys.
Grown-ass men have ruined the Pokemon collections because of values. Even though we all know that the factory workers cheat, lie, and steal all the good shit, these power-hungry motherfuckers want to make a couple extra dollars on eBay.
No, and it's just like, I don't care if they want to grab like the whole things. It's just like grab from the top and away you go. And said that dude, this piece of shit right here where my mouse is, he just stepped all over the box. Did you guys see that? Look at him. He's just stepping over everything. He doesn't care. What a piece of shit. Look, they're all stepping on stuff. I find it so rude. Like, goddamn Western culture just ruining everything.
I haven't seen this since like Hannah Montana tickets on Black Friday.
What?
Like where people are just like fighting each other
this
and
is
everything.
Normal.
Yeah, this is like crazy. I don't know.
One more time for the chat. Not the music. Just insane, in my opinion. Look at that.
Yeah, they're pulling a Jenga.
Do they understand that you just pick from the top and work your way down?
Well, it's because they don't want to grab something somebody else is grabbing, so they think that the logical idea then next is to grab one from the bottom because nobody's going to grab from there.
And like in seconds, it's just gone.
Yep.
Insane.
Grown-ass men.
Insane. Wow. But in other Pokemon news, now this one was fascinating, so we have to talk about this. Ahem. A stolen Pokemon card worth $40,000 sees UK police hunt involved in a Charizard hunt. Have you seen this, Savvy?
I haven't. This is adorable.
Okay, well, anyway, let's get to it. UK police have successfully tracked down an incredibly valuable Charizard Pokemon card priced at roughly $40,000 USD and has returned it to its owner, which is nice. They actually get it back. Man, I have so many ads here, but holy shit. It says, there is an insane money to be made in Pokemon TCG trade with some of the hobby's most valuable cards selling for multiple millions of dollars. Of course, with so much money on the line, this seemingly wholesome and child-friendly pastime attracts a lot of crime. Seriously, we've been trading card stores shot up, used as fronts to the narcotics trade, and million-dollar warehouse robberies. That's not even all of them. We have a whole list of poke crimes, and like that'd be such an interesting video one day to just go through them all, but do you have something of super value, Savvy and Kay, like in Pokemon World?
I've never gotten it priced, but I conned a Shiny Island Mew.
Whoa,
Japanese edition.
What do you mean conned?
Well, I suppose I should just use the words natural selection. I told the child on the playground he was of wealthy background, so I was doing a little Robin Hooding for myself. I told him that this was actually a misprint and he could never play it in the Pokemon game because 1, he didn't understand the words written on it, and 2, it has no value in America. So I convinced him to give it to me because it was basically criminal for him to have the card, and he believed me and gave it to me, and I immediately put it in this very thick thing, and it
Top
hasn't
loader?
come out since. And I got it basically a week after these came out.
What year was that?
Oh, it's fucking fine now, dude. I was a wee little thing. I was a runt.
So you took this card from this poor little boy, manipulated him, and now you have it after all this time, and you feel no guilt or remorse.
I feel zero guilt or remorse because this was the same kid who liked to tug on my hair because it was white. And so if he's gonna listen
flirting
to the
with
kid
you.
that he
Yeah, I think
bullies,
he likes you. They pull your hair
Yeah.
in kindergarten, Savvy.
I
You
think-
horrible thing.
He was in love with
I was
you,
a
and you
victim.
took his future from him.
I did. Don't fuck with me. I'll
Savvy,
take more
you're
than a
ruthless.
card next time.
You're ruthless. Holy shit. This is
You had to be. When you're the youngest in the class and the smallest, you have to establish dominance, all right? Nobody
Did you
messed
carry
with me.
around a ruler and be like, I will hit you?
No, I would never use a ruler. That leaves a mark.
I am
She's like,
terrified
no
of this
evidence can be
woman.
found. Dude, you're insane.
You have
That's
no
terrifying.
idea.
No, we really don't. Every time
I'm learning a
you're like
lot.
an onion. You have so many layers that we're just discovering every single time you show up. She's like
Yeah.
Shrek, guys. Do you work for DreamWorks? Will you be in Shrek 5? Is Lord Farquaad going to be in Shrek 5? Do you know the answer, Sav?
He might be making a comeback.
Everyone's saying they're afraid of you now.
Good. Have you seen my
Yikes.
social maps? Look what I'm literally taking down the government because my yaoi has been infringed upon. You think I'm fucking stable? That's
No,
not
I
normal
really
behavior.
don't.
I love this woman so much. This is the best thing ever.
What was this poor boy's name? Apologize to him one day on your deathbed.
I will
or
never
something.
apologize to this guy.
So he liked you, pulled your hair, and then willingly gave you a super duper valuable card, and you have no remorse or guilt whatsoever. You are a cold woman, I must say.
What if he's watching right now?
I hope so. I'd do it all over again.
Shit,
Oh
man.
my god.
It's not the only time I did this. I did this
What?
too with a Japanese Slifer, the red dragon god from Yu-Gi-Oh! There was a kid on my street who I conned that card off of too.
Holy
A
shit.
different person?
This is your
person
villa
that used the
era.
same
Holy.
There's gonna be class action lawsuits soon. Have you had a card stolen by Savvy?
Toll free at this toll free number.
I don't have to worry about that one coming after me though.
Is he dead?
What do you mean?
Did you
Did
kill
you put a
him?
hit out on him? Is this a
In
penguin?
Power World? Did he like Power World so much that you were like, BAM! With a bat or something? Like,
I'm not gonna explain.
where is this man, Savvy? What have you done with him? Is he in
Look,
prison?
man, I'm part Italian, all right? I don't look
No.
it,
Is he in
but I got
prison?
some Italian blood.
So? I don't kill people. I don't lock them up, man.
I'm so afraid and jealous of Italians all at once right now.
Thank you. I'm a citizen. Please bow
I'm so
down to me now.
jealous. Italians are beautiful.
Thank you. But the real thing here is this one right there, talking about how she beat up someone. So is this guy dead? Like, come on,
I
Savvy.
think he
fine.
is based on this conversation. She won't say.
I mean, look, he's never gonna squeal, all right? He's never gonna squeal.
Is he a mute now? What have you done? So what are you saying? Like he's either mute, a vegetable, prison, dead, NDA'd. Which one is it? Did you NDA some dude who be like, I steal this from you? and you
Imagine-
can't ever talk.
I have a
You're
whole
dead."
stack of papers, and it's just NDAs from people I've stolen Pokemon and Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards
Wait,
from.
is he like chained to your radiator downstairs in your basement or something?
Oh, radiators are so old school, man. I wish I had one.
So he's not chained to your radiator, but he's chained somewhere else.
He's well fed.
It's like the ghoul in the attic or something. Like, what's going on here? Seriously, anyway, you know what? I feel like we're spending way too much time on this lore, and I think the chat's gonna start to wonder and call the police. So over on Rumble, Saint D12 for $1 says side scroll is now demonetized for saying titties, breasts, and boobs every 5 seconds. You're lucky we're not showing them. CG Hero 23 says for $5. Savvy, do you think it's possible for Trump to outlaw ESG and Bridge when he takes office?
I mean, so what they can do is propose legislation or remove legislation that supports the social element of ESG. I think that actually, a little bit of concern over the environmental one is fine. But for the most part, all that sums up is basically companies are going to change their fucking light bulbs and not change the thermostat. So in my opinion, yes, they can do it. Yes, they can remove all the legislation and the business benefits and the government discounts and all the things that come with it, because we are at a point in time where we don't need it. Don't need it.
All right. Mighty Megatron for 2 says, Savvy ratted herself out. You're the Cardi B of geeks. Her nickname is now Cardi's S. Have you been stealing so much shit, bro? Over on local, Spoon Ninja sent $1 tip saying, as long as boobs are big enough to jerk you off, they are good. Thank you, Spoon Ninja.
Don't jerk off the titties, please. Women don't like that.
Nobody likes the titty fuck. Anyway. Ed Song says, Craig got put in the doghouse because he didn't vote the way HR lady demanded. He's eating slop in a pot and being forced to play Veilguard. Yeah, I locked him up. Janice, Raptor fan member for 25 months. Thank you so much. Says, it's Side Scroll Hers today. I also wanted Side Scroll Hers belt bag going to be available on the merch site. Thanks. A belt bag? What's a belt bag? Let me Google. Belt bag.
I don't know.
Isn't that just
You're
the hip
girly
drop?
one.
Oh,
aren't you,
it's just like
Blabs?
a fanny pack thing. Oh. I thought it was some kind of whip. Anyway.
What?
Matthew for 10 says, what are you three talking about in those Souls games? They always say you have died. Yeah, but they're always
That's
like,
true.
your journey has ended. You have died. They never say you failed.
It's just
Wait,
an
I owe
elegant way of
Matthew an
saying it.
apology. I owe Matthew an apology. Matthew, you are the first person who I've ever missed a tip from in one of my streams. I'm glad that I get to say it here. I have your tip. I will read it. I hope you're still here. I'm sorry. I love you. Okay, continue. Sorry.
There you go.
I felt so bad when I saw that.
Andrew says, the best racing game is actually Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. Electronic Arts at their peak. Wasn't that on the list? I feel like I saw that.
Look, that is a really good choice, but Burnout for me, I would say. Burnout 3. And Need for Speed Underground was also really good, 1 and 2. So Hot Pursuit's up there for me, but Burnout 3 is the best racer, I think, for me.
It's no longer Madam Savvy, it's Bully Savvy. Matthew also says, you three don't know racing games, but the best racing game of all time, Need for Speed, Most Wanted 1. Also, and 2, also Burnout Paradise is on the list as well. Thank you, Matthew.
Paradise sucks, man. Burnout 3 or nothing. Come on.
All right, let's keep on moving on because I'm just amazed at this. So I don't know what this is, but Craig put this in the run sheet today, so I guess we're going to talk about it. It's from Reddit, and it says, is there a lore reason why Batman is gay in the new game? I don't know what this is. I guess we're just going to play it, and good luck, everybody.
What new game is this? What is...
I don't know what he's talking about here. We're just going to play it.
Around the corner here.
What is this?
Whoa. That's pretty sus.
Through there. Matches.
What the fuck? I don't know what I just watched. Does anyone know what we just watched?
We watched Zesty Batman. That's all I can say.
Hey, he went for the bum. There was the bum grab.
Yeah,
there.
you saw that, right?
The product.
Doot, doot. Anyway.
I'm assuming, is that the VR game? I've never
Oh,
seen
they're saying
Batman
it's
move
VR.
like this.
It's just a joke in VR.
Okay, yeah. I was
John
gonna
says
say.
we've been bamboozled. Okay, well, never mind. Okay, let's move on. All right. Sega. You guys know who Sega is? I sure hope so. All right. Sega says we have another Virtua Fighter being developed. Do you guys hear about this?
I'm surprised that they're doing that because they recently doubled down on their DEI and HR business. I would assume that fighting games now are not okay to make anymore.
Any thoughts, Kay?
I like Virtua Fighter and I love Sega and Sonic, so I'm excited. But yes, I agree that they have gone a little bit more in that route. I mean, it depends. I don't know if there was news about DEI stuff with them specifically. I know with Sonic X Shadow Generations, there was a lot of people saying that was woke, but there's a lot more to that conversation. That has to do with like some lawsuits and stuff like that too. So it's not exactly all DEI, but yeah, I don't know. Did they do a recent announcement about being even more DEI with Sega?
Yep. Yeah, they had some doubling down on it, and then their website was also updated to have more fluffy language.
Oh, fun. Okay.
And then I think they had some recent job listings as well for DEI related departments and some very HR language on them. I know Nintendo America is still putting out DEI related positions as well. However, there's some whispers going around in Japan now.
Oh.
Of what?
What are the whispers? Yeah.
Whispers. Well, I know that since this is all obviously recent and reliant on Trump, of course, now being in office, but the U.S. embassy guy is gonna be out of a job. So he's been a big push over in Japan for a lot of the DEI, ESG, and the American culture of the rainbow flag going over there. So he's gonna be out of a job as soon as Trump is in office, and once he flips off there might be some good news coming from the business sector, but we'll see.
Well, there is some more Sega news, actually. And this comes from Warrior64, and he says, Sega Mega Drive and Genesis Classics and Dreamcast Classics are delisting on Steam on December 6th. And there's like a fuck ton of games here. Let me zoom in, because this is a lot.
Crack down!
I'm so pissed at this. This is part of the Genesis collection and stuff like that. And these are great collections. They're coming down December 6th. You can still get them on Steam right now. But a really cool thing about these two is that you can actually mod these collections on Steam and you can make them like really great and play like a bunch of games from your childhood.
Sonic
so
Spinball.
This is really disappointing that they're doing this. I would assume that it's a push for like another sort of collection that they're going to put on newer systems. But I hate this. Like, this is so bad for preservation.
Yeah, this is god awful. And like we just found out, like, was it last week that there was a huge like game restoration L with emulation. They're trying to crack down on that too, right? So this is from Steam. It says, greetings Sega fans. We've got some news to share regarding our classics bundles. As of December 6, 2024, we'll be saying farewell to new purchases of the Sega Mega Drive and Genesis Classics and Dreamcast Classics. Both of these great bundles and select individual games will be delisted on Steam December 6th. No worries if you already own a game or bundle. These gems will live in your Steam library. Or will they? You can download and play Sega Classics games whenever you want, as long as you own them before December 6th. I feel like eventually they'll take that away too.
No, so the most fascinating part about this is they have successfully, this is actually a genius move on businesses. I'm not praising this in terms of consumerism, but they've managed to create artificial scarcity for digital things. That is wild. For video games, this is creating artificial scarcity. This means that people who have also the Steam account with those games, those Steam accounts are suddenly more valuable. This is very dumb.
I mean, people know how to sell. Realistically, Steam is just good for convenience and supporting the devs that you like, but they can try to make the scarcity, but let's be real. You're not going to really make the scarcity. You're going to cut yourself out as irrelevant eventually. So this is why I always support physical. Like I've got behind me, that's what I care about. But yeah, it's still always a piss off when they take these things down. And this happened with Sonic Generations as well. They pulled it down and then people got super mad at Sega. So by the way, I think it's okay to also tweet at them and say you're not okay with this, because when people got mad at Sega for it, then they were like, okay, you can still get it in this bundle that's $60 when the game itself is only $20, which to me is still not perfect, but at least they kept it up.
Do you feel like they're going to repackage this somehow in some other form? And they'll be like, look, you can buy this. And it'll be like something. And then you'll be able to have all these games, possibly.
Yeah, I think too, as much as I do clown on, like, oh, companies shouldn't listen to social media because, this is how we got into the whole HR shit that we're in now with listening to losers who are much smaller in quantity than they actually are globally. But the truth is, it's actually a very powerful way to do some form of not protest, but, like peaceful passage of, hey, the consumer's not happy about this. And I always tell people, like, respectfully, just, tweet at them, go under all their posts, say, hey, listen, I'm not okay with these recent changes that you're trying to make. Here's a small, thing. Why? And if enough people say that, then they will listen. They'll make some adjustments, or they know that they'll just lose the consumer anyway. And then just say, oh, I wonder what went wrong, because they don't want to listen. And then eventually they'll go out of business if they don't listen. So, always make your voice heard. If you don't like it, let them know. Don't be like me when it comes to Pokemon. Don't just keep throwing money at them, all right? Don't do that. They're never going to learn their lesson, and they're never going to make a better game. Don't do it. I'm still going to give them money. I'm actually not. This will be the first time.
Yeah, you gotta, like, show them who's boss savvy and say no.
Yep.
Pokemon. Tell them, girl.
Yeah, you gotta bully them. You gotta fucking have 600 messages under a Pokemon game account asking for something, and they won't listen to you. But one day, when the thing that you ask for gets put in the game, you can then take credit, and that feels good.
Right. Anyway, any closing thoughts on that, Kay?
I'm just salty about it, to be honest. I mean, usually that's a sign of something else coming, so I would be happy if they give me, like, I don't know, an SNES Classic of the Dreamcast, maybe. That could maybe a little bit make up for it, but it still won't. But I would be happier. Let's see, there's probably going to be a collection of some sort. That's usually why they make these kinds of moves. But Sega, stop doing this. Like, just keep the stuff up. People want this. They'll give you the money if it's up. You're just hurting yourself in the end, because people don't like this.
Do you ever think that, like, going back to my previous question, do you ever think they're gonna, like, pre-package it into some sort of physical media somehow?
Like,
No.
in
I
what
think
way?
they're
Like,
done with physical.
what do you mean? Like, having a... Because Sega Genesis Collection was a physical game as well, so...
No, but, like,
I would
all these, like, a whole bunch of titles together.
I can see them doing it. Yeah, I see them doing a physical collection going forward for it. I think they just keep repackaging and reselling the same digital
As a
games on
different
modern
edition and
consoles,
stuff.
right? Different editions.
Mhm.
So probably they're preparing for, like, Switch 2 and whatever else, and they're like, okay, we're going to do another collection. They'll
Chat's
probably add, like, a
wondering-
few stuff.
Chat's wondering what happened to Craig. He died in Power World. Anyway,
Rip.
Joey says, bring fucking Zero GX and Mario Kart Double Dash to the Switch. No!
They would make so much money if they brought Double Dash to the Switch as is, minimal. Keep the graphics. Don't even do any texture updates. Just put the game on the Switch. Profit. Even better, release a physical version of Double Dash for the original console once again as a second edition, so people can preserve their value, but also buy a new version for their GameCubes, and also re-release the GameCube as it was. I know they never will, but holy shit, you are sitting on so much potential money. Do you know how many people will go out tomorrow and buy a GameCube again?
I'll buy 10 of them.
Ah, shit.
You didn't abandon us, but I'm still angry.
Oh, we were having a good time. What are you doing here?
Oh, well, see you later.
Bye. Yeah, he's just backstage. Anyway, Hikaru says, we need some love for Toki Extreme Racer Zero and Initial D Special Stage. PS2 racers represent.
Was Initial D the one that was in the arcade? Because I remember playing this, like, arcade machine racer, and you get this, like, printed card and stuff, and it was, like, the coolest thing ever. I'm pretty sure it's Initial D, and they blast that, like, Euro beat, and you're like, this is the best experience of my life.
Yes.
It has to. Yes. Okay, there you go.
He was giving me the eyebrows. I was like, oh no. Lord Slosh says, hail normal women. It's a great day for America. And in the words of Kay's favorite Jedi, Mace Windu, the oppression of the Sith will never return. You have lost. Mace Windu's all right. He's kind of
fake news. I hate Mace Windu. He is the worst Jedi. My favorite moment is when he flies out of that window.
When he dies.
Do you write fan fiction then about your favorite character?
Why
Mace Windu?
does everyone think I write fan fiction? I do not write fan fiction. Where does this come from?
Okay. Look at you. I'm just kidding.
That's so mean. Get out of here. I'm defending Kay. She does not write fan fiction, okay?
Do you ever do like AU crossovers with The Office and Mace Windu, your favorite character?
Savvy, you don't understand
Okay.
how happy you're making my community right now.
Okay,
I'm going to
just
hear
kidding.
about this
You
for
know
the
I
rest of my
love you
life.
so much. It's
I
great.
know. I know. Don't
God,
worry.
Craig, you come in here guns blazing. You ruin the women's talk. You missed a
It's
lot
all
of
out of
boob
love.
talk, by the way.
Absolutely.
And Savvy is a villain. Did you hear that? Did you?
Oh,
at
I
all
know
hear
this. I knew this
anything?
already. Savvy's brilliant in her villain role. It's great.
Did you hear anything that was going on beforehand?
I haven't watched anything yet. No.
That's fine. Maybe don't go back. Anyway, Memory says in another timeline it would have been Savvy showing up for $50
Yep.
with the big titties. Anyway, Craig, do you want to take over now?
Where are we at?
I don't even know anymore. There's a lot of boobs and stuff going on today.
Well, that's a great thing.
We just finished talking about the Sega Genesis, and we were going to start going into Death Stranding.
Oh, did you get to the Batman stuff? Where
Yeah,
Batman
we have
being
no
gay?
idea what the hell that was.
Oh, it's just funny. It's just some guy playing VR. He was.
Yeah,
That was some. What? Anyways.
There was
whatever.
some butt physics going on anyway.
Yeah, as you would expect along the way. But
Yeah.
all
Thanks.
right. Well, thanks for. First off, everybody needs to give up to Blabs. She got thrown a curveball this morning, like I got thrown a curveball. So thank you, Blabs, for holding it down. Kay, thank you for hopping in.
Yeah,
on
she
short
literally rolled
notice.
out of bed. I was like, Kay, wake up, please. I need
I
you.
was like, huh? Blabs needs me? I'm Blabs' #1 guy. I'm here.
You are my #1 guy. All right.
Craig got it. There you go.
That's right. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about something that let's turn the show back over to Blabs and talk Hogwarts Legacy 2.
Oh, shit, man. Do we have to? That
no,
that
we
hurts
don't.
me.
No, we don't if we don't want to.
Listen, fuck Hogwarts Legacy 2. Thank you. I will probably
good.
still play the game because
You two are part of the problem.
I
Yeah.
am part of the problem. But you know what? I'm a good part of the problem and I'm the solution because I was unbiased the entire time talking about that game. And everybody
why
was like,
aren't you a
"Buy this
fan of-
game."
Well, how come you're not a fan of Hogwarts Legacy?
It was a shit plot. Super bad.
I'm gonna be
Awful
honest.
plot holes.
I don't know anything about it. I know that my husband had a good time, and then I made fun of the one kid. That was funny. The one who makes the. I guess I can do spoiler stuff because it's been out long enough.
Yeah, it's been
Yes.
out for over a year.
Yeah. So he does the killings thing.
Oh yeah, you mean Sebastian? Where
Yeah.
everyone fantasizes this guy and has a huge fetish for a 15-year-old modern boy. Yeah, that's the Wizarding World community. It's great.
Oh,
They
thought the
draw
storyline
him
was
with
funny.
like dog collars on him, and he's 15, and that's their new rising star because they're putting him in other video games too. Yes.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
So Hogwarts Legacy 2 coming soon.
Well,
I guess,
actually, we
or-
don't know. They announced it like a year ago.
Yeah,
and
in
it's
in
just-
development.
Yeah.
And
They're basically tying it to the Harry Potter show, which that is the biggest issue because it's like you can't change the show. The show's supposed to be based off the book. So what are you doing? Are you time jumping kind of deal? Anyway, it's like a whole rabbit hole, and I went through it like a 30-minute video.
here's the biggest issue with Hogwarts Legacy 2. It's not going to perform like Hogwarts Legacy 1.
No.
Hogwarts Legacy 1 was a statement. It was like one of the first statements. And whether you agree with it or not, people were buying 2 and 3 copies of that game just to say, fuck you. And Hogwarts Legacy 2, that will not happen. So
well, no, that wasn't the biggest issue. People were just very curious, and they've been wanting a Wizarding World video game for like the last decade plus because we've never had like an open world video game. Every single video game that has come out for Harry Potter was based on a movie. So like this is the first time it's like, whoa, an RPG game. Everybody and the mother wanted this, but I
Is it
personally thought
also
it was
the first time like you just played as a different character instead of like Harry?
Yeah. You were always playing like as Harry, Ron, Hermione, or like in the Lego ones, you know, all the characters that you could play as. But yeah, this is the first time. And personally for me, like I have a lot of criticism with it. I give it a lot of bonus points, like a lot of positive things because you know they actually did. I read like the making of the video game, like there's this big ass book that they made. I read all that, and like they did have some care and they did have some passion with it, and you could tell they were fans. But there was just so much negative bullshit that just doesn't make sense. I'm like, yeah, I can't let you get away with this.
I do want to have my one. Unfortunately, my biology does betray me sometimes, and I have to admit that their room decorator that they added into it, where you could customize where certain
the
elements
crafting.
were.
Mhm, for the
So
room of
I thought
requirement.
actually the way the rooms were designed and all of the little changes that you could make, it was very well done. Whoever their interior designer is and the artist, that creativity and the big architecture and all the different feels that they
Yep.
made, so beautiful.
Yeah, if you're a fan of crafting, that like room of requirement area is perfect for like the tismed crafters. Me, I'm not a huge crafting fan, so I just kind of made it pretty how I liked it. And I was like, okay, that's good enough for me. But like, if you're a crafter, that place is like your like heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really
Awesome.
enjoyed that in the world and the
Well,
animal collecting.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. You can look forward to the next one coming in about 3 to 4 years, which is
Well, I
good.
think it might even be longer than that because it says like it's tying to the show, and the show is going to be 10 years long, so it literally could be any time.
No thanks. No thanks.
What? No thanks. What?
Tying it to the show in a 10-year-long video game?
No. The show is 10 years. Every single season is 1 year. So like
Yeah, I
they
get
can
it.
literally have this at any time. It could be like season 5 for all we know.
By the way, that is a very bold thing to do. If you say
It's
we're going to
stupid.
we're going to make 10 seasons of something that's like that you have no idea what's
Oh
going to
yeah,
be.
and a contract and
Like,
everything.
think about what happened to Saved by the Bell, which Blabs, I don't know if you get that reference.
I've
You go-
seen.
You go watch Saved by the Bell and you watch the first seasons with Zach and AC Slater. Then when you get to the new class, guess what? It fucking sucks.
Yep.
They graduated. Then you get to the college years, they try to save it again. Then you get a reboot 25 years later and it gets 2 seasons, right?
Yep.
Nostalgia is a terrible thing.
Yeah,
It's a-
no.
it's a
And
wonderful
if you read the Variety article that they talk about like the Hogwarts Legacy video game, the top dog is literally saying, "Oh, everyone loves Batman. We have so many different versions of Batman, yet their last version of Batman was Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, which lost $200 million." So it's like maybe, just maybe, don't do that. They've also said that they want to focus on online multiplayer live service for Hogwarts Legacy 2. It's like maybe since your last game that you did that with flopped $200 million, don't do that. But you're just doing like a Disney Star Wars thing where they're just tying everything together and like a new twist is what they're saying, a fresh new look. And I'm like, oh my God, we're all doomed. So yeah.
All right. Thank you, Blabs. Appreciate your in-depth passion for Hogwarts Legacy. Let's move on to talk about Dragon Age Veilguard. Now, obviously, Kay, have you played any of Veilguard at all?
We got gifted Veilguard, so we have to play an hour at some point, and I'm dreading it. It looks so bad. I think you guys have shown the clip on your channel as well, but some of the clips I've seen of this has put me into like a blind rage to the point where I was like yelling for like 20, 30 minutes. Not even on stream, just in my room alone, being so mad at how cringe it is. Like, it puts me in a rage, and it feels so like predatory in the way that they talk to people. It's just.
Kate, are you no different than the crazy lady screaming about Trump's victory? Who just get out their phone and go, "Arr!"
Why? Yeah, I record myself in TikToks. It's a whole thing. You see me crying, melting down.
Well, obviously,
it's creepy, man.
It is. But the game obviously has been very polarizing, and for the same reasons that you said, Kay. The idea that you have these insane moments that should never be put in a video game, and it's very clear there's an agenda being pushed. And just like we've seen the last couple of days, people have had enough. And so much so that they've gone to Metacritic, and the review bomb has happened, where you see it as a 3.8 over on Metacritic right now. 64% have a negative review, 30%, 29% positive. And, there's just a lot of red along the way. Some have said, hey, I played the game, but I'm not into the woke stuff at all, right? But people obviously they've had enough of it. But so now there's a Metacritic is actually having to respond to this as the Dragon Age Veilguard review bombing prompts an urgent Metacritic response along the way. Now, Sav, correct me if I'm wrong. This is not the first game that's ever been review bombed or a piece of media that's ever been review bombed. Why now?
Depends who works there. I'll have to do a social map, but I guarantee I can probably tie somebody who overlooks the community responses to probably somebody on the Veilguard team.
Right. They went in and they have gone in and had to make a statement to Eurogamer along the way. It says, in a statement to Eurogamer fandom, has addressed the ongoing review bombing, noting that the user responses are moderated and that anything that breaks the site's code of conduct will be reviewed. We take online trust and safety very seriously across all of our sites, including Metacritic. Metacritic has a moderation system in place to track violations of our terms of use. Our team reviews each and every report of abuse, including to, but not limited to, racist, sexist, homophobic, insults to other users, etc. And if violations occur, the reviews are removed along the way. Which
notice though, so that language is very specific because obviously they don't have to report what they've removed, and then they can just claim if anybody talks about any quote unquote woke related thing, and that word has no meaning, but they can just claim, like, if anybody complains, hey, you know, there's pronouns in this, they'll label that as hate speech and then remove it.
Right. This is and once again, what is hate speech? It's speech that people just don't like along the way. So but you're curious, how is this game done? Because we saw Veilguard launch, it came out, and it had a peak of almost 90,000 players, which for me, I thought was, talked about this many times on the show, I thought there was going to be about 150,000 players. It didn't even crest six figures for the first time an EA game has been released on Steam, which is, I don't know, to me, I think that's underperforming, but I'm not the one putting together the internal performance metrics for this game. But right now it's currently sitting, and it's definitely seeing a peak, seeing a drop. Right now, less than 40,000 players playing it. As you can see, the spike over the weekend, and then the drop of continuous. And this will obviously continue to drop as the game gets older and older and older, and streamers aren't playing it, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, along the way. So, but the idea of going in and having to moderate comments of hate speech is always silly. If that was the case, Blabs wouldn't say a word because she's just throwing out bangers constantly. It's crazy.
Yeah, fuck everybody.
That's right.
You know, we actually had to reserve ourselves so we wouldn't demonetize the live stream today. You're welcome.
Oh, yeah?
I waited 15 minutes to say fuck.
Oh, good. Thank you.
It was actually 14 minutes, but that's who's counting.
I'm rounding up.
Well, that's good.
And Savvy apparently killed someone, just so you know, in Pal World.
You won't tell us. You are putting out false news, and if you continue to perpetuate false news, I'll do it again.
Okay, hold on, guys. Here's the thing. I don't even know what the hell's happening. I just walked into this, and we got these girls squabbling over people killing each other and all sorts of nonsense. We got Kay over here waiting to drop F-bombs. We got Sappy admitting to murdering people in Minecraft. Blabs over here talking like a sailor. What's happening? This is crazy.
Anyway, so as I was saying, Savvy said that she cannot talk about one man because he's unable to talk anymore, and she stole a card from him.
I didn't steal a card. He willingly gave it to me.
You manipulated
There were
him.
Multiple victims, Savvy.
Not my fault that he's stupid. That's natural selection.
People are going to flip this on you and make a chart of you now, and they're going to chart all your victims of your cards.
The last time someone tried to make a chart on me, they stopped.
Is it the same man? Is that what happened?
No, it's a different one.
Oh my God.
There's so many men.
All right. Well, speaking of people that we probably need to make a chart on, let's talk about the lead writer of Dragon Age Veilguard, Patrick Weeks. Now, we all know what happened the last couple of days. We had a Donald Trump was elected president, and we also understand that the video game industry is a very progressive industry. You know, you have people based in these very progressive cities along the way. With that said, I don't think it's as progressive as people think. I think that there's this progressive ideals in the video game industry that have put forth by people in positions in power, or they're scared. With that said, Patrick Weeks, amongst others, have been having absolute meltdowns when it comes to the results of the election. And Patrick Weeks, obviously, Dragon Age Veilguard is a popular game right now. But
wait, it just happens to be him after I put out a small thread highlighting him?
What was the thread that you highlighted, Sam?
Well,
I haven't seen it.
He specifically hired a gender consultant who happens to be a friend of his to consult on the game that already has multiple trans individuals, including himself, working on it. So I don't understand why they needed a consultant for that. But I linked that because it was interesting. So now it's just funny that he's back in the news only days after I do that, and he's having a meltdown. It's like I called it, because I even said, oh, this looks like a well put together individual, and suddenly now he's melting down. Dang, what happened?
Wow. Guys, we actually have some breaking news. and this is important, but the world is healing. The world. Okay, Blabs, hit the sounder. Do you have the sounder? Can you pull it up?
Okay, wait, please hold. Where are you?
All right. The world is healing, Kay. The world is healing, Sav. As of 22 minutes ago, Alyssa Mercante put out a tweet saying, after 2 years, I've decided to leave Kotaku and my role as senior editor. I am internally grateful for Kotaku's editorial team and all that they've taught me during my time there. They're some of the best in the business, and I'll be forever proud to have shared a masthead with them. They continuously fight to maintain the editorial pillars that make sorry. That make great.
He's getting so emotional. He's coughing up a lung.
Kotaku great and to hold on to their journalistic integrity in the face of increasing pressure to compromise that. What is she smoking? It's been a long few years during which I've learned a lot about myself and my value as both a woman.
Wait a second.
And a writer. Yes.
Look at the third tweet down. This decision was made before the layoffs?
I think, yeah, there's more layoffs. It says hire the
They only have
Row.
7 people working there.
Hold on. There must be more to this. We're uncovering this as we go. All right. This is the right decision for me. I have some things coming down the pike. So keep your eyes peeled. How long before there's some sort of OnlyFans?
So I know that she has been trying to kiss ass to Hassan, and I know that she kissed ass to Dr. Cowart. Dr. Cowart is, of course, very well connected. She has access to so many individuals around the world. So I'm not too sure if this, I don't know, that third tweet is way more important than what the hell she just said. I don't give a shit about what she just said.
Right.
But that third one is more important. Did they just announce layoffs today?
I believe they did.
I can't find anything though.
Somebody else was just laid off. The person that she tweeted about also posted. They said, "Hey, let me share this one as well. Hey, I was just laid off from Kotaku. Don't know what's next for me." That's Willow Rowe. So that person was laid off as well. So is Kotaku?
There's no announcements from Kotaku from their Twitter or their website.
Well, you need to look for the writers themselves because I guarantee that they're going in. So she decided to leave before this.
Possibly. We don't know.
Right.
But that's interesting because I think most of us were saying that Kotaku wouldn't survive the year. And if I think Endymion was the one who specifically said if Trump is elected, then they'll scuttle it.
Fascinating stuff. So here's
Don't
why.
quote me on that if it was Endymion or not. It was one of the, because they focus more on talking about this kind of thing too. But
okay, so here we have Ethan Gash, senior reporter Kotaku, retweeting the same thing. Absolute Scenes, as an editor at a publication, emails me to say they discussed my pitch in their editorial meeting. The senior editor then went and commissioned someone else to do it late that day, and they're really sorry about that. I don't really know what that's about. Seems like everyone's getting laid off. Is this the end of Kotaku? Ooh. Dun, dun, dun.
I don't think this is the end yet. Because here's the thing. They did hire their new editor-in-chief not too long ago. And I think what's happening here, this is the beginning of the shift for Kotaku. The shift to guides that they talked about. And the people who are either being fired or are leaving, in this case, with quotations, they are the people who are getting fired are not deemed either they have enough skill or value to continue with from a guide perspective.
Problem children.
Yes, and those who are quote unquote leaving don't like the direction of where it's going, aka guides. So when that news initially, and by the way, I'm all total speculation here, right? But when that news came down, what was it, 3, 4, 5 months ago, about Kotaku potentially shutting down, they got a lifeline of like, hey, let's see if we can right this ship. Well, guess what? They didn't right the ship. And this is what's happening. Layoffs because of it. And now this is the start to the shift to guides. And I think this makes sense because you have new games coming out for the fourth quarter and they want to get those guides out to maximize for the traffic and the ad revenue for the fourth quarter, which is traditionally higher than the other months because there's a bigger spend in the fourth quarter from advertising agencies because that's when a lot of money spent. So wow. So Alyssa Mercante, no longer with Kotaku, no longer a video game journalist.
So she still writes independently for some other outlets, I think, because she lists them in her bio. So I'm not too sure how all that stuff works. So I'm sure she'll still do that.
She's not going to disappear. Like, we've seen this before. We saw this in 2014, 2015 as well. As soon as they started losing the culture war, they would all just get really quiet. Everybody on this side would think that it's a victory, and then they would just go and sneak around. And now we're seeing the same people resurface again. So this is a cycle that happens every few years. We're going to see this again. She's going to show up again for sure. This is not the end of her.
Well, of course, because all of her friends work in the industry, right? And you're right. She'll get hired by somebody along the way.
They'll build new companies. They'll find new ways to insert themselves in the industry and twist it even more. Like, yeah, people might feel like this is a victory of some sorts, but to me, it's not because it's just
arguably
end up somewhere else.
The best outcome, though, is I'm a big supporter of everybody should have the ability to write and pursue, creativity as they so please. The best possible outcome would actually be her and people like her going off and just doing their own thing, staying in their lane, not demanding change from anybody else, but go make your own thing. You want to go have a crazy podcast where you talk about fucking antelopes? Go for it. I support you in that endeavor. You want to look at turtle dick all day? Go for it. That's great for you. Just don't ask everyone else to partake in the turtle dickage. That's all. I don't think that's hard. Go have fun.
I do think that there's room across the internet for all sorts of voices. And I think that's where the difference is that if you want to talk about turtle dicks, you talk about turtle dicks, right? Just don't talk about turtle dicks in this space.
Yeah, don't ask Nintendo to put the turtle dick into the game with the turtle that you want to see the dick of.
Right. And can we also, leaving with immense class along the way with the tweet, also kiss my ass. Just a woman who reeks of class along the way.
I just couldn't imagine a company actually hiring her, given that is her exit statement.
Yeah.
Like if I was a hiring manager, just objectively speaking, why would you hire somebody like that with that kind of attitude? Like, what is the value there? How does this put forth effort and drive? How does this say, you know what, this person's definitely going to make make choices that are in the best interest of the company? Because that's what you do. When you work for somebody, you're not working for yourself. You're working for them to bring their vision to life, whatever it is.
Sure.
Whether it's a simple product, a stuffed animal, a video game, or a website where you're publishing stories. Why objectively would anybody hire somebody who puts out this kind of an attitude as an exit statement?
Yeah, and here's the thing about this is she is she tested the waters with her Twitch streaming, right? Right now, I haven't watched any of her streams, right? I don't watch her. She's probably watching right now. Hi, Alyssa. Good to see you. With that said, we don't watch your stuff, right? You have 1.3 thousand followers on Twitch. Her last stream 8 days ago has 800, 900 views.
What's her Twitch username? Is it the same as her Twitter?
Alyssa Merc. Right?
With the underscore?
No.
Okay, no underscore. Because I'll look at her analytics.
But yeah, but she tested the waters. Either I think that she saw the writing on the wall, which is why she decided to split off and start the Twitch channel. Hey, I'm starting up the Twitch channel. So head on over there and become a big supporter. I'm going to be talking about it and Owen and the Chuds and all along the lines. She says there's things coming down the line. Sure. Great. Show it, do it. I think what realistically is probably going to happen is she probably ends up in some sort of consultancy agency or working in PR and within the industry. That's where a lot of journalists end up, consultancies or working as PR. So
I know it's funny that we just all got unblocked on Twitter, But she actually like properly unblocked me because I can see all of her stuff and I can like comment and quote tweet and everything. So she actually went out of her way to go and unblock me. That's weird.
I know she unblocked me a while ago, but the other thing too, after Trump was announced president, she said something about, they need to be more extreme, to go more left. That tweet was floating around. And then she said, oh, it's all connected to nerds or something. Like our sphere somehow had any realistic impact on it. Like we somehow as gamers encouraged the Amish to go out who voted for a completely separate reason. Like that. Look, I love a good conspiracy board, all right? I love taking crazy ideas and trying to find a social connection. We didn't do this, all right? We did not shift the election. We didn't encourage anybody who wasn't going to already vote for for whoever through gaming. We didn't do any of that. We didn't have that impact.
You know who did? Can I be honest and be very blunt about who did change the election? They did.
Yeah. I was going to say they did.
Yeah, they did. They're the ones who threw out this bullshit that people rejected to half court, like Dikembe fucking Mutombo. They had no interest in any of it, and they've shown it through their wallets and now through their votes. So these people who, and we talked about this briefly yesterday, but these people who have been told yes and they haven't been told no for years, for the first time, are going like, "What? This is different. This is not right. How could this be?" And this is a great example of that along the way. These people have lived in such a bubble. They live on Reddit. They don't experience real life outside of their bubble cities. And they don't realize that nobody thinks this way. And ultimately, they're the ones pushing the stuff. And we are the ones, the customer, who is saying no. And not just from a spending perspective, but from a consuming perspective, from a consuming Kotaku perspective. Because once again, their traffic went from here to there. And that's on the writers. And if you're the senior editor, it's on you. So, Kay, I'm sure you have something on this. What you got, Kay?
Man, I don't know. Kotaku's going to continue to be the same way it is too. Like these people are a dime a dozen. But Savvy, to what you're saying, like why she's doing this, it's because she knows controversy creates cash. Like this whole thing has kept her whole thing afloat, and now she's seeing the tide, and she's going to keep acting like that and saying things like kiss my ass because people are going to follow that. And there will be someone that will hire her, even if it's temporary, just to get that attention on them for a little bit, to get themselves on the map. And then maybe she'll leave and go somewhere else. I think she's found her spot. She understands that she can get rage out of people. And that's really what her game is at this point. Doesn't matter what she does or anything. If she has any gaming knowledge, nothing. It's just how many gamers can I get angry? She knows she can push those buttons. So to me, that's her play here is she's leaving and saying, kiss my ass. I'm going to jump to another ship, wherever it may be.
Yeah, right. Speaking of, so I've got her just base level analytics pulled up on Solinome. It looks like she had one very generous host from a channel, but her average viewership is roughly 90. So I did it for 180 days. That covers 10 streams. Because of the generous host that she had, that put her peak viewership at 1,400. She gained about 900, almost 1,000 followers from whatever that was. So that would have been who stuck around after the 10-minute mark.
Right.
She, on average, gets anywhere between 9 followers to 20 followers, with an average viewership of 90. So in 180 days, she streamed for a total of 36 hours. Which
probably not enough to make a living on, though, I would imagine.
No, God, no. But like, so I don't know. I don't know what her schedule looks like. But I mean, if she's making a shift into streaming to try to be her own brand, which is a better route to go for most people. Working for an outlet these days is not going to pay you unless you're in a power position. It's not going to pay you well. You're grinding away. You're doing shit that you don't want to do. She would need to stream a lot more though to make that be valuable. Right. But I mean, it's not a terrible start, but it's not. I don't know how many people are hate watching.
Oh,
like who's actually watching to support her versus who's just hate watching, and I hate that that's a thing.
Right.
I don't think people are hate watching her. I think they'll laugh at the clips and stuff. I think Twitter, it's easier for her to pull a response out of people and for them to get mad. So I think Twitter is still going to be her main place to go. And like I said, she'll find another ship to go to, another platform, a Polygon or whatever, and they'll get their clicks for it for a bit on their website, and she'll generate it, and then she'll move and she'll keep moving. But that game doesn't work well for you because eventually people get sick of you and there's nowhere for you to go, and you've ruined your own reputation. So she's doing this on a short gain, but long term, this is not going to work out.
No, you have to keep ramping it up. The reason why dumpster fires don't typically last long and they always taper off is just because they have to keep upping the ante. Look at Ice Poseidon. The guy could have killed himself with what he put himself through just to entertain chat, because it always had to be something more, or something worse, or something crazier. That's why he got swatted so much, because that's just what people wanted to watch him suffer. That's it.
Well,
and
look,
that's not fun. That's not healthy. It doesn't matter how much money that you're making. That's not okay.
And there's a lot to that, right? The idea that when you're a bit, when your whole identity is built around being a bit, it will eventually be toxic, and you can't top yourself at all. Like, yeah, we have bits on the show, the $50 donations and stuff like that, but the show itself is not a bit. Alyssa Mercante is a bit, right? She is a bit. She wants to fight you if you don't agree with her. She literally wants to get in the boxing ring with people until they actually say yes. Like, that's a bit. So yeah, bits flame out and they get old, and
then constantly, and then the sending out the legal thing, but then still antagonizing the people that she just claims to want to be left alone from.
Right.
At some point, you gotta do something for you.
Well, maybe this is the first step for Mercante to do that. Good luck to that. Good luck to her. Don't let the door hit you on the way fucking out. Kratos came in and says, the new editor-in-chief of Kotaku is editing out all the employees. Potentially, Kratos. Great to see you. Good to see you. Rio says, sounds sus coming from Alyssa. Yeah, and you can't trust her as far as you can throw her. Suffer So Proud says, you can't add the you're muted, Craig steak. Hola, Zavi. Besos.
This is streak, not steak.
Streak. I was going to say that's a very weird to have streak and steak at the same time. Yes, but here we are. Anyways, thanks, Suffer So Proud. Mercenary says, if Alyssa had the power, she would one of those that would impose turtle dick upon, and if you refuse it, she would Minecraft us without hesitation. Thank you, Mercenary. Soul on the Lich says, the way for Alyssa to leave is to press the toilet button twice. Maybe a pump might come in handy. All right. Thanks, Solon. Appreciate that. And Bob came in, says, resurrecting YLOD today and hearing about Kotaku's end is better than anything I can do today. Let's go, Bob. And Andre, thanks so much for becoming a member. Appreciate that. All right. We started talking about this before we had our breaking news, but people have been melting down in the video game industry on all levels. We've seen the writers. We were going to talk about the Mass Effect writer, but let's talk about Alanah Pearce. Now, are you familiar with Alanah Pearce? I bet you are, Sav.
Her stupid tweet today?
Yeah. Are you familiar with Alanah Pearce, Kay?
Long time around. She's been around. So yes, I am familiar. I believe I'm blocked already because I made fun of her for an article she wrote about the original Gamergate. So yeah, I'm aware of her. She's aware of me, I guess.
So the meltdown over the last few days has been quite severe. And I'd say it's a meltdown / sheer confusion along the way. Confusion that people just don't understand what's happening, her included. Now, she worked for IGN, and now she works currently for Santa Monica Studios over in for Sony. And she's an actor, host, writer, and game dev, according to her bio right here. And she said, trying to wrap my head around MAGA supporters who still think they're underdog victims somehow. In the U.S., you now have the president, the House, the Senate, the largest traditional media outlet, and it isn't even close. All top podcast. You are the establishment. I mean, it's amazing. Sav, you said she had a silly tweet. Fire away. What you got on that?
To claim that a podcast started from the ground up as establishment is first one of the most laughable claims. This is the epitome of stay in your fucking lane, you dumb fucking cunt. Because she has I take it back. She knows what she put out. She knows she's scared she's going to lose her job. And here's why. Because she wouldn't have one if it weren't for identity politics. I understand she's been around for a long time, but it's very clear from this tweet alone and anybody else playing identity games that they cannot maintain a job because they know they are easily replaced by somebody with even an iota of merit. These people are terrified for the shift that's coming, and it is clear.
Smash came in and responded, said, or hear me out. We are wholeheartedly rejecting communism, DEI, and Marxism. America is taking America back. We aren't the victims. We don't play that game. Good stuff from Smash over there. Shagsworth, I thought, nailed it. Says, this is what out of touch looks like. Rogan was a Bernie bro for years. Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. were lifelong Democrats. News networks are still controlled by the left when you consider all modes. Twitter is the only piece of the whole. While it may have helped to have less biased news, it's not where people go for news. The term MAGA has become a cop-out blanket term for the Dems opposition. It's how they safely other you. Grow up, Alanah, and realize that Republican conservatives, MAGA, are mostly innocent people who just want to be happy and respected along the way. Shagsworth, great stuff, buddy.
That is really good. And yeah, like so the election, you know what? If he didn't win the popular vote, if he didn't win the House, and if he didn't win the Senate, then okay, maybe you could have a claim, but it was a sweep across the board. New York City alone gave this man the popular vote. People in California gave him the popular vote. The world is shifting. Canada had to call into question the integrity of their government and the effectiveness of it. Germany today put out a big statement that they have to have a vote, that the people in power want to have a vote of confidence next year that should happen next week. France, what is he doing there? He has to step down because he knows his government is not popular. All of these leftist governments are being called into question because they've had years of power and they're all failing across the board. If you look at the financial situation of the German government, it is so bad. Same thing in France, same thing in Canada, same thing in other places. They're all crumbling. It has nothing to do with chuds. It has nothing to do with sides, even in terms of left versus right. It is literally the people in power and who have had power since 2016, roughly, and a little bit longer because they've been slowly building up. They are all crumbling because they got too big for their damn britches. The world has finally gotten to a point where it can't handle it. We have reached critical fucking mass of problems. It's not a fucking sides thing in the regard of left versus right. It's not working. It's not working for anybody. It is not working for the rich, and it is not working for the poor. It is not working especially for the middle class. Every single change that people are asking for are basic things. You have a platform in America where their biggest thing was abortion. How about preventing rape by closing down the border? That it should not be a controversial statement, but it became one. And then that radicalized more people. This is happening globally. It is not an isolated incident. This isn't just about taking back our games in that regard. This isn't about taking back entertainment. This isn't about taking back anything. It's about making a better future so people can just fucking live. I'm done. I'm sorry.
While you were
No, that was
ranting,
beautiful.
I was trying to pull this up here. while you were going.
This is beautiful, actually. I mean, I can keep going, but
I love it. Fucking Abe Stab, love it. Love everything about that. Well, so look, she's obviously, it's amazing to see how out of touch that she is. And this goes back to the bubbles. And then you see this is a great meme right here. We are the resistance, right? You have every single thing lined up for you along the way. Like, okay, sounds good. Which is just a phenomenal meme.
Thanks to Trump, we have a unity party and a unity message now. The people who are claiming that this is the worst thing ever, those are the people who are not on board with unity. They are now the problem. Everyone else has united because of the sweeping election. The world is uniting because of calling into question the effectiveness of the other governments. We have unity now. Everybody knows the step forward. And if you're not on board, you're going to lose your job and you're going to fade away into obscurity. Not because you deserve to lose your job just because you believe something different, but because you believe you deserve to be propped up on nothing more than your damn identity. And people are fucking sick of it.
Well, speaking of identity, we've talked about Danny O'Dwyer many times. And once again, these are people that I've had relationships with over the years. Danny is a guy I met, spoke with, sat down, had dinner with before. But to see a statement like this, there's a lot of underlying things here with this statement. He said, ain't no way this guy is making it 4 years. Best start mentally preparing for President Vance. And
is that a threat?
Right.
Like, what does that
Not the first
mean?
one I've seen.
Right. And that's just it. What's he saying there? Is he saying someone's going to do their best to off him in Minecraft? Or is he just old? Or
It's so out of taste after how many assassination attempts he's dealt with. At least what, like 3 or 4 at this point, if not more.
Yeah.
That's
and imagine what we
insane.
don't know. Imagine all the people that
Exactly.
didn't make it into the news who were stopped before they even got there.
Mm-hmm. His Twitter is all politics right now, as you would expect. But then probably the biggest meltdown that we saw was probably from one of the biggest Hollywood shills in probably ever. A guy who, if you look at his host buddy from 25 years ago, has gone the complete opposite direction. I'm talking about Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel was on last night talking about all this stuff, and Jimmy Kimmel is one of the biggest shills out there. We've seen it, but Adam Carolla has gone the opposite way, and you know he's one of the top podcasters out there, and he's and you go back to their Man Show career where it was all about oogling girls and girls on trampolines and all that stuff, and that's great. It's fun. It's hilarious. But to see him last night go in, I sound like Jimmy Kimmel. To see him last night go in and say this was amazing, and to hear his voice break.
Let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go, for healthcare, for our climate, for science, for journalism, for justice, for free speech. It was a terrible night for poor people, for the middle class, for seniors who rely on Social Security, for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO, for the truth and democracy and decency. And it was a terrible night for everyone who voted against him. And guess what? It was a bad night for everyone who voted for him, too. You just don't realize it yet. And most of all,
I invite Jimmy Kimmel to list one person who died in the Ukrainian war. Just one. Just one. Shut the fuck up.
The idea that, hey, this is bad for you. You just don't know it yet. Like, it's so presumptuous. You uneducated idiots. Here I am, my multimillionaire late night TV show. By the way, you all clearly don't know what you're talking about. We know what's better for you. That's what's being rejected right now. Jimmy Kimmel is what's being rejected right now from people. Savvy, I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
No, it's fine. That pompous behavior is what's absolutely being rejected. He's a sanctimonious, sad little shitbag who got popular off of raunchy comedy and wasn't he the one who did blackface, or was that Stephen Colbert?
Oh, yeah. He did multiple times. Yeah.
I couldn't remember which one it was because they've all been exceptionally ridiculous because that's comedy, baby. And you can't do that anymore, can you, buddy? Oh my goodness. Like, spare me though. Like, this bullshit about the Ukrainian war. Oh, we have to help our allies. You don't give a fuck about helping them. How many men are left in that country? My mother's best friend has lost everything. The Ukrainian community in the Appalachian area, they hate the Democrats. They are so sick and tired of being used as a talking point for them. All of their men, their sons, their land, it's all gone. And they don't talk about that. They're just like, yeah, we're going to keep giving them money. Money's not going to bring back family. Money's not going to bring back heirlooms. Money's not going to bring back land, which, by the way, guess who's buying that up? It's not just BlackRock, by the way. People were pushing that around. It's actually not just BlackRock. It might actually be worse if you follow some of the money that's going on there. And it's so frustrating because I have to watch this woman cry because she can't go home. She can't go home, but you've got Jimmy fucking Kimmel on his stage with his little fucking posse there saying, oh, this is so bad for Ukraine. The best thing for Ukraine just happened. The sooner the killing stops, the sooner we can finally get to some fucking normalcy.
Well, this is not normal for Jimmy Kimmel at all. Kay, I would love to hear your thoughts about just kind of the disconnect of Hollywood and kind of what you see and just your overall thoughts on Jimmy Kimmel, just letting you know how dumb you are.
Well, look, Jimmy Kimmel, first of all, I missed the Man Show. Bring it back, brother, please. That was great stuff. But yeah, look, he's supposed to be a comedy show, right? If so, that was the best comedy I've ever seen written by him. That was fantastic to watch. So thank you, Jimmy, for something for me to laugh at later. Yeah, all these Hollywood people are completely out of touch. I mean, how many people do we see speaking up and from Hollywood? Like every day, the Avengers were walking around handing out water bottles and like doing this whole like cringy commercial. These people are the one crying and they're not affected by any of this anyways, besides their own paycheck being ruined because they have to support a certain side or else they get ruined completely. So my perspective is I don't care about Hollywood. No one cares about Hollywood. And it's been clear more than ever now, especially with seeing all the podcasts that were getting the amount of boost that they were. No one cares about these celebrities anymore. You're done. You're washed up. Cry all you want. That's what you're actually crying about. You're not crying about what people are going through at all. So yeah, to me, it's just funny. These are supposed to be like late night talk shows that are hilarious. And it's like, no, you're just crying all the time. Like it's cringe, bro. I don't know.
Blabs, anything on Jimmy Kimmel?
He can go stub his big toe, in all honesty. I don't give a fuck about what these people say.
Okay.
So, I don't
Make
think
Roman
ever
culture
like
great again.
Yeah, I don't think giving them any time of my day is worth anything because they're just scum.
Okay.
That's how it should have been the entire time. The fact that we put Hollywood on pedestals, that's wild. Ancient times had the right, the absolute right approach. You uplift your philosophers and your actual great thinkers, whether you agree with them or not, and then you don't look down on them, but you know, like an actor is literally the lowest of the low. A prostitute has more value. All right, an actor just brings on entertainment. A prostitute, though, that's going to make a man very happy for a bit longer, you know? But still, you know, they have no value. As a human being, they are just an actor. It doesn't matter. Their opinion, they're not educated. Who cares? Their job is to pretend.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you're right. They're actors, and the idea that I think that's the bigger lesson here is that we went through about 100-year period where we took these people who just appeared on a screen like us, and we were like, oh, they must be really important because they're on the screen that I pay to go see. Whatever it is, you know, going back to the silent movies up until today, the idea of a movie star was somehow thought of as a smarter, better person, but. I think that's the thing about social media along the board, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, X, TikTok, whatever. The bar is it's moving down and it's getting closer to shifting. Now, I still think that, you know, you have your celebrities that do have some sway. You know, I'd be interested to see how many Taylor Swift voters, how many Taylor Swift Swifties actually went out and voted, and who they voted for. Like what the
most of them can't.
Well, yeah, right.
That's the craziest thing. She knows the age range of her target audience, right? It's under the age of 20. It's 16-year-old girls with dads who have good credit cards. That's her target audience.
Yep.
You can't vote.
Has Taylor Swift even had a meltdown yet? Like, did anyone do a wellness check on her?
No, I don't think anybody's followed up with Taylor Swift, but Taylor Swift has too much to lose. She's billions.
Has Mark Hamill been seen yet?
Yeah, he tweeted out calling everyone stupid.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. We pull that up real quick, Blabs, because I want to definitely talk about that. We'll get to Sweet Baby Inc. tomorrow, I think. We'll get to that tomorrow, but see if you can find Mark Hamill. The sheer out of touch nature of the responses over the last 24, 48 hours have been just absolutely fascinating to watch. Like I said, I think part of it is it's this weird cycle of confusion to hate, then back to like more confusion of like, I don't understand this, despite people being like, yo, this is why. Like, it's very clear why this happened. It's amazing. Do you have Hamill's tweet pulled up?
Yep. So Mark Hamill says, they say we get the leaders we deserve. Either that has just been disproven, or this is not the America we all thought we're living
Shut
in.
up. You are rich. You literally did nothing with your entire life except for laugh, which thank you for doing it. It was brilliant. And then playing a guy who everybody fell in love with 30 years ago. Okay? Super awesome. Really cool. Thanks for being entertaining. Shut the fuck up. You are wealthy. You will be fine. If you genuinely believe things are actually going to end up worse, you are desperate for us to return then to the 60s or the 50s or the 40s or something. And even then, what are you doing? You will still be fine. You don't actually give a shit about anything. You just want the attention on Twitter, which is why you are a sad, old, lonely man who has nobody else in your life, and you cry on Twitter all day being an extremist. Extremists are lonely. They need to extreme to attract attention so that way they feel valued.
Don't forget, he even dragged up like Carrie Fisher. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago for her birthday? He was like, "Oh, Carrie Fisher would have voted for X, Y, and Z." He's like, "She's dead, man. Why
That's
are you bringing her into
disgusting.
this?"
Like, don't speak on behalf of other people, especially when they're dead. That's insane.
Yeah, like she
to me.
probably would have voted for Kamala Harris,
sure.
or maybe not because Kamala Harris, was
who
against the
knows?
drugs, and Carrie Fisher was a huge druggie. But you don't bring it up. But what was even worse is that Carrie Fisher's daughter agreed with Mark Hamill's tweet and everything. I saw it on Instagram. She shared his story saying, Carrie Fisher would have voted for Harris, and like daughter shared it on her Instagram story. And I'm like, you're all gross.
People will do anything to sell out their families. It's so disgusting, man.
You know what's amazing about Mark Hamill is that he's a dude who is still the face of a franchise, right? Like Luke Skywalker is the face of Star Wars. Him and Darth Vader, I would think, right? Those two, good versus evil. Mark Hamill should be probably the wealthiest person that appeared in a Star Wars thing, aside from George Lucas, the creator, right? And when you look at his net worth, let's play the net worth game. What do you think Mark Hamill's net worth is today? This is according to Style magazine.
Well, I don't think they did all that much money like the cast back in the day. It's only now.
It's not just that, though.
Yeah,
Joker
right,
as
and then
well.
the recent thing.
Mm,
Yeah,
Right.
and then
Joker.
all of his merch that sells. I'm assuming he gets some type of contract or payout every single year.
You think so, right? So with that said, let's play the game. And chat, you guys are the fifth chair, so you guys tell us, what do you think Mark Hamill's net worth is?
I actually don't think it's all that much in comparison. I feel like it'd probably be 20 million.
20 million, Kay?
I would probably say around 25, 30 million.
Okay. Savvy?
You guys are making me question myself because
What was your initial gut instinct?
I would say at least 50. But if you're asking the question, it's clearly not. So I'm going to go on the low end and say 10.
Okay. So right now, according to this when this is what it is, whatever, it says $18 million. And that to me is considerably lower than what I would expect Mark Hamill to be worth nowadays, considering you're the face of a franchise. So you wonder if he's just like bitter about that, and he carries that around, that he did sign a shit contract, and all
they
that.
ruined his character. He tried to stick up for his character and say, that's not how I think Luke would actually behave. So now, yeah. Wow.
Did he actually? I thought that was just a rumor.
No, there's footage saying I disagree with how Luke would be portrayed.
You know what? I think it was then at that point he realized he had no power.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't always like this. He didn't. I don't care if this is what he's always believed. He didn't put it out there so aggressively. He wasn't such an agitator online.
Right.
So maybe that's when he realized he had no power. He had no sway like he thought he did.
So if you think about it, Last Jedi came out in 2017. So they were filming it, 2016 or so?
Yeah. And that's when Trump also won. So I don't know if there would be a crossover if he cared about politics then.
I think he did. I think he went bananas. So yeah, I think he lost his marbles.
Well,
but I feel like I was the only nice person to him on Twitter, because I had tweeted out yesterday morning saying, has anyone performed a wellness check on Mark Hamill? And then he tweeted something out last night, and then I see it and I was like, oh, there you are. I was worried about you for a minute there. But he's
Oh.
fine, guys. He's just rampaging and calling everyone idiots.
You're so sweet.
Yeah.
You're so sweet, Blabs. That's good.
Compassion sometimes. You need to give it to them.
So much
They're
compassion.
there. You're going to be fine, millionaire. Don't worry.
That's right. 18 million. Well, great stuff. Good stuff right there. And yes, the meltdown will continue as people are just so out of touch. Let's finish today with a win before we get to your super chats, your direct donations, and your Rumble rants. Guys, thank you very much to all of them. Give it up for Stay at Home Hippo coming up to 10. Says, we have commies crying that our government worked. Let that sink in. Everyone crying about losing their rights are the same people who know nothing of checks and balances in our government. Protect our president. Thanks, Hippo. Appreciate that. It's great. Cryptic came in with that rant, talking about Savvy going off. That's good. Girthworm Jim fanfic by K came in with the $10 direct donation. Says, just some normal innocent support for some normal innocent men. Craig, please hire Alyssa and pay her any amount to say whatever you want.
So you're writing Earthworm Jim fan fiction. How does that work?
This is fake news. This is all fake news. I can't write fan fiction to save my life. Slander. I'm telling you.
Is it the worm element of it, or is it like do you go full suit?
No.
I don't want to hear about
get
it.
the suit.
Don't want to hear about it. It's ridiculous, gross, disgusting, yuck. It would be funny. With Mercante with a lot more free time in her hands, maybe she'd be open to coming on the show for the first time. Wouldn't that be great? Or should we just let her?
How about no?
Like it's Vlad's like, no.
Like, why do we have to give these people the opportunity to talk? They're always stupid anyway.
Blabs, you give them an opportunity to talk because they say the dumbest things.
They say it already on their own platforms. We don't need that filth here. We just look desperate if we bring that filth up.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Do you know how many people would love to see?
What are we, local? I don't think so.
No, there's nothing local about that. It's a conversation. It's bridging gaps. This is not Boogie. This is not Boogie ripping off his shirt pretending to be a white man for Harris, right? This is not that. This is not him going out, and this is not Boogie and Wings of Redemption. It's an actual conversation.
It would never happen. It wouldn't go the way peaceful. I'm against it.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that's why you let them talk, Blabs. You let them talk because when they open their mouths, they're the ones who sound like idiots. It's like Darkside Phil, right? You let him talk for 5 hours, and you don't need to even say anything, and he just talks himself into a corner, With that said, let's go and finish on a win here. This was interesting here along the way. We talked about the Mass Effect board game recently and the idea that they're putting pronouns in their game. Yes, apparently the Czech Republic publisher, says they will pull the pronouns from the Mass Effect board game and will argue with the publisher if they refuse. And this was straight out of on their site here. There's right here. This is the release over here, and him saying, "Well, we find it completely unnecessary to mention it, so there won't be any pronouns in the Czech version of the character cards, respectively. We won't put them in there, and we'll argue with the publisher that we don't want them there. They don't make any sense there, right? So
good." Asaris are not supposed to be they, thems. They're she's. The whole point of it is that they're supposed to be attractive. They make more of them. They're females. They're always females. They took like the most like basic gendered character and try to make it a they, them. Good. Yeah. Don't do that stuff to your, like, I just don't, it's so lore breaking. It's insane.
It's really stupid because they can't suspend disbelief. And the few people who I've talked to who are defending this are trying to claim that it's based off of the line that Liara uses that says, well, I'm not a female in the traditional sense of what you might consider. I mean, that's only because, though, of the way that their anatomy and their DNA works
differently. Yeah.
So yeah, so the reason why they say that is because of the reproduction methods, but also the fact that it is a society of women. And for them, though, they don't believe in gendered roles because somebody still has to take on the role of father, but they use different language. It's just how they translate it to English. So that way the gamer can fucking understand the goddamn lore. This is called suspension of disbelief, and it's called being cool in creating cultures. You still have to translate it. When somebody makes up a language, like Elvish, for instance, there's a translation process so that way the individual can understand it. Otherwise, you're just making up a bunch of gibberish. Welcome to Fiction 101, you dumbasses.
I love Savvy. I just want to put that out there in the universe.
It's good.
I'm sorry, I ramble.
No, that was
She
amazing.
might kill you though, Melee Cage.
You know what?
Be on the lookout.
It's worth it. If this is what love is, it's worth it.
Death by Savvy. In Power World.
Hey, Joey says, Blabs, think of the entertainment value of having Alyssa Mercante on the show. It would be extremely entertaining.
No, it wouldn't be. It'd be a waste of our time, in all honesty. She's like the bottom of the barrel. You'd rather go talk to someone who actually can make constructive arguments without calling people names and insulting them and having a meltdown on Twitter.
But once again, that's why you provide them a platform. So
They
can...
have their own platform.
No, she doesn't. She has no platform. She has no, and that's why. You
can't change my mind on this. I'm firm against never having this conversation with this woman ever.
Well, I'm just saying she has no platform, Blabs. Zero. Right?
Well, she did.
She has a bubble
on Kotaku.
Ooh.
No.
Back to the board game, an important note.
Yes.
I hope they also fix the spelling error because I guess what they did was they controlled F'd every single instance of the word adrenaline and then for some reason removed the D. Very telling on what their focus was.
These people are so stupid.
Well, so I could understand one typo in one location, but it's across multiple instances, which is why I say that they control F to find every instance of the word adrenaline to remove the D. And I feel like it had to be intentional because how do you make the same exact typo on completely different elements of the game? You have to intentionally do that.
Yeah, it's a control F for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. All right. Well, there's that. But it's a small win. And I got to be honest. I think that's a couple things. Do you think that he would have made that statement before 2 days ago? Because 2 days ago, I think people were less likely to be more upfront about how they thought about things.
I think generally speaking, yes, people are being a bit more bold, but I don't think that would have changed personally. I think that because I mean, America isn't the entire world, although I do love America. But, other parts of the world, they don't care about this shit nearly as much as we do in the West. So
yeah, the Czech Republic has its own problems and they don't give a shit about this. And I'm pretty sure that most of them, like most other places, are looking at America saying, wow, you guys really have no problems, that this is actually a discussion for you. How pathetic.
Exactly.
It's funny. It's so funny. I gotta get Gary just on Twitter posted this just a little bit ago. Talking I would say that literally most of America thinks this way. Here we go. Where are you? There we are, right here. Let's get this pulled up. It says America right now.
It's the best day ever.
Anyways, you get the idea of it. I'd say most of America, except when you scroll down and you see the next person on the timeline who's like, ah! So great stuff right there. Magnum says, Blabs is smart, me stupid. That's right.
There was another point that I read that just kind of went with a click and an aha. So you know how some people on the left were complaining that, oh, Elon and the algo are now pushing right-wing extremism onto all our timelines?
Yes.
No, those things happened organically because that is the sentiment of everyone right now. It was never about pushing anything or even rebalancing. It was allowing the initial balance to work as initially planned. And that's just the voice of most people right now. It had nothing to do with pushing an agenda. It's just that America voted and that proved it right. Because now what do we see our feed full of? A bunch of liberals breaking down on their own Twitter account, not just reposts.
Right.
So,
you know what's interesting? We have some more breaking news before we finish our show today. And this is talking about memes and stuff. I'm taking this for what it is. This is from DraftKings. apparently we have a major retirement in the world of sports, ladies. And this is breaking news. I feel like I should use the breaking news sounder again. But do you remember not too long ago when the world was infatuated with the Australian breakdancer Raygun at the Olympics? Do you remember this lady?
Yeah, people were memeing the shit out of this woman.
I hate that I remember her.
That's all I remember her for.
Well, as of
She was
this
the
morning,
best part of the Olympics.
oh, 1000%. Yeah, she was spectacular. Apparently, it is being thrown out there that Raygun, as of this morning, is retiring from breakdancing, which is just what a thing we've lost along the way.
Where the SJWs now going, no, because that's what they should be doing.
Kay, I can tell you're broken up tremendously about this. Would you like to have a eulogy for Raygun?
This is so heartbreaking, and we'll miss you. We'll miss your breakdancing. We'll be dreaming of you. We'll be breakdancing ourselves, not as well as you, but sad days. Please come back.
Raygun
Say the
said,
word broken, and I think like that's what her body looks like in that photo.
Legit.
well, Raygun says she has announced retirement from competitive breakdancing after receiving criticism for that's it. All it took was a little bit of criticism. The toxic positivity movement is over. Says, I just don't have any control over how people saw me or who I was. So she's quit after her performance at the Olympics. She was at the top of the game.
Yeah,
And
she stole spots from deserved Aussies, then did a shit show performance because she can't actually dance, and now she's like, I can't control how others react towards me, bitch. You thief.
Even watching this now, people are going to look at this.
Kangaroo.
I'm telling you right now, people are going to look at this in 50 years and be like, what the hell happened in 2024? Like, what?
She's
what
an
happened?
icon. Look at her go.
This is peak.
Oh, there's more. I forgot. There we go. This is so good. It's so good. Like, this is better than any sort of parody skit that you'd ever think. Some sort of Saturday Night Live skit or something.
She's doing the Earthworm Jim fan fiction, okay? I just want to put that out there. Look at that. That's not me. That's her.
You would know though, wouldn't you? You know a fellow Earthworm Jim writer when you see one.
No. Well, rest in peace, the career of Raygun. Sorry that the internet took it from you and you gave it away. You gave it away. Magnum Norse gave away $10 to us. Thank you very much. Says, I gave Craig money because he's mentally impaired. Thank you for that. Thank you, Magnum Norse. Appreciate that. Master Gawa says, sure, Boogie was pretending. No way Boogie voted Orange Man, despite being a woman. Blabs is right about Mercs. All my favorite misogynists are women.
Yo, no one rags on women like women. You cannot beat the misogyny of women. Actually, there was an article that came out recently that told everybody what they already knew, is that women online are actually the ones perpetuating the misogynistic language, according to the study.
That's right.
This is what gender studies and sociologists, by the way, are getting paid for. They get paid by universities or the government to perform these silly little things. It is the craziest grift in the world.
It is amazing to see. It really is. It's amazing to see the idea of how you can take one thing and overanalyze it and then turn it into like a major problem. And that's how I think that's how we got here in 2024. But I do, and I said this over on X, I do feel like there's been a cultural shift in the last 24 to 48 hours. And I think we're going in the right direction. I really do. I will echo Gary's tweet, and that people are pretty excited about the direction of America right now. Total side note, Blabs, you know we have a road trip coming?
What?
We have a road trip in 3 years. Yeah. We're going to be going to the United States Fair. Did you hear about that?
Huh?
Yeah.
You didn't hear about this?
We're all meeting up.
Yes, everybody's going to meet up. It's going to be great. In 3 years, for the 250th anniversary of the United States, they're going to have a big United States Fair in Iowa. It's going to be awesome.
Like the World's Fair stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be
I
great.
think that's cool.
Yes, I do too. I tweeted out, like, that's the America that I want to live in, for sure. The idea of you're celebrating your country, all 50 states come together. They're in Iowa of all, like, hell yeah, let's stink and go. Love
I
that.
want all the fireworks. Can you imagine all the fireworks tonight? Ooh.
Oh, baby. It's great stuff. Love
Oh,
it.
and fried Oreos. Okay, I'm ready to go.
Right.
Titties.
What's that, Sev?
All the titties. So many titties.
Are
Talking
there
about
going
the
to be
cows
more?
that will be there, like agricultural fair, maybe?
There's going to be more titties in America during that time? Is that what you're saying?
Blabs, can you please take that time code and use that whenever we get like a larger donation? Just Savvy going, all the titties. just
So
click.
many boobies.
Would you like to do Donald Trump? Here you go, Sav. Let's get you full. Here we go.
There's gonna be a lot of milk at the fair, a lot of titties, a lot of big, beautiful bosoms there that we haven't seen before. Free the Nipple was France's greatest movement, and we're bringing it back to America. It's gonna be great, folks. All the greatest people, they're gonna be there. Don't miss it.
There's a freebie for that right there. Thank you, Sav. Hopefully we'll get that lady in 3 years to walk around in a side scroller shirt. That'll be great. Oh my God. Well, we got a lot of support to get to today, guys. Thank you very much for that support. And if you guys enjoy Savvy's unbelievable rant about breasts as Donald Trump, I did not have Savvy doing a rant about breast as Donald Trump today on my bingo card, but here we are, which is great. So thank you for that, Sav. Here he goes. Speedy Cake says, as a normal Australian man, if you want to watch someone explain her bullshit bearing, and his wife did some good videos on Raygun and her whiny misogyny excuses. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, send me those, Speedy Cake. I'd like to check those out. Kratos came in and says, I believe the chat said girthworm. Okay. Yes, it's girthworm. Mm-hmm.
So you like a good girthy worm.
What is happening in my life right now?
I don't know. Apparently, you've lost it to fan fiction addiction between Earthworm Jim and Mace Windu, your favorite Star Wars character.
I hate Mace Windu so much.
Wait a second. So here's what you've done. So you have fan fiction of Earthworm Jim and Mace Windu in the Office universe. This is the craziest crossover I've ever witnessed. You truly have stolen creativity.
It's like the Marvel universe now.
I want to be like you. I'd love to read some of your work.
I appreciate that you literally stole creativity.
You just stole it all. You have it all.
Just mashed it all together.
Yeah.
I could never come up with that. That's amazing.
Just straight up stole it. That's good. SNK fan says, I thought they said Alyssa Girth Conte. Let's go with that. Savvy burnt meat curtains came in with the two, says all the titties and meat curtains. Don't make it weird. Magnum says nobody dislikes women like Savvy, and that's why men love her. Nobody dislikes women like Savvy.
True.
That's so funny. Give it up for Jesus, who came in with a super sticker. Thank you so much, Jesus. Gear says we want great sportsmanship. Remember, no pronouns. Czech Republic or any Eastern countries, Taiwan, for example. Thank you very much, Gear. Lady Gamerloon says everyone seems to forget in Mass Effect. In Mass Effect, all have a translator implanted to communicate with aliens. P.S. Canada can't wait for a government change too. Thank you very much, Lady Gamerloon, and yeah, we look forward to Canada hopefully regaining some common sense as well. Joey says, and have Savvy and Smash on that show with Mercante. It would be beautiful to watch. Yes, I agree. The Hylian Juggalo came in and says, I love the rants. Us too. It's great stuff. Lord Sloth says, Mark has expressed disdain for Disney Star Wars, but ultimately, I think his TDS is just a typical Holly weirdo sentiment. Most of these goofs went mask off in 2016 and then again in 2020. Man, I had a tweet about going mask off yesterday. Just the people who are going mask off are the people with pronouns in their bio and the blue hair, talking about how, saying like the most racist things right now. It's crazy. It's bizarre. Gear came back and says, I still don't understand why these clowns endorsed for the word salad master, probably blood money on the war. And hey, Mark, did you surrender to the Sith? Yes. Did you surrender to the Sith? Thanks, Gear. Appreciate that. Yeah, there was a lot of money being thrown around. I mean, we were never offered any money, but you saw these people getting offered like $50,000 to talk about, Harris and such. It's like, whoa, that's crazy. That's a lot of money for.
Oh, speaking of money,
Mhm.
I guess I've officially made it in life because somebody made a fake account just to say, should I expose how you get paid by Russia? And then he
Oh.
called me a bunch of really bad gamer words.
Oh, you're welcome to the club. There's always a fake account, and the best thing to do is ignore them, because what I did was I ignored the parody account, and they just like eventually went away because I didn't interact with them. It's like Blabs was saying, like, you just don't even worry about it. Then they're like, these are not paying attention to me. And
They always get bored and move on. Yeah, they just
Yep.
need attention. But it was just funny. It's so out of all of the shit posts people have done at me, that's just the first Russian one I've seen. And I'm like, damn, I said Nostrovia once with a shitty accent, and now they think I'm Russian.
Yeah, it's awesome. Magnus says, not trying to take over your chat, Mr. Craig, but Savvy needs a toenail clipper by the name of Mr. Squirrel.
Where did this come from? What is this squirrel thing with my toes? That's a new one.
I don't know. What is that?
It's a weird question. Tech Support Gaming says, you ever see the Japanese horror movie Audition? That's what Savvy did to that poor guy. If you know, you know.
No, I would never.
Mark came in with the $20 super chat. Says, it's okay. I once conned someone out of Super Metroid and Mario RPG on SNES as a kid, except I feel terrible about it today. Do you still have it, Mark? You should sell them. Sell them.
At least Mark feels bad about it.
Yeah, Savvy, on the other hand, does not care that she stole stuff.
Yeah, no regrets in life. If you're dumb enough to fall for the albino child who's younger than everyone else, that's on you. That's, again, natural selection. Why would you listen
actually
to somebody?
albino?
Huh? Well, yeah, so I got made fun of for being an albino. I'm not actually albino. It's just my hair was white when I was a child.
Eyes.
Huh?
I was gonna say you have colored eyes. You can't be.
Yeah. So, but you can have partial albinism. I don't have any of that. I just had really, really light hair. So people made fun of me, of course.
Hobocop says, I know they're Brits, but it's interesting how Radcliffe, Bonnie Wright, Rupert Grint, Tom Felton, and Ivana Lynch are all off the radar.
What do you mean? They're not off the radar. They post about random shit. Except for Radcliffe, he doesn't have socials.
No. Off the radar as far as sanity, I believe, is what Hobocop is.
Oh, in that sense?
Yes. Spider Bro says, what's funny is that these individuals believe that they would have been the ones to resist the Nazis back in the day and not the ones who submitted. Master Gawa says Germany is collapsing because of its support for Ukraine at the expense of their own people. Europe is in economic collapse. Was it worth it for Ukraine?
No, they're in a giant collapse also because of the amount of illegal immigrants they let in since 2016.
It's two things. So the guy in charge fired the financial guy a while ago, and then they haven't had economic growth for 2 years. So that's actually the big thing actually that caused them to actually have the discussion and acknowledge it.
Marksman's right, talking about these, hear about the Reddit deletions. Yeah, there have been people who have been saying all sorts of...
playing Sudoku.
Yes, for sure. William, thank you very much. In her fake situation... Oh, that's right. She was the situational disability person. Ah, yes. We're going to keep scrolling these on the bottom of the screen here, the $2 ones along the way. Guys, thank you very much for all your support along the way. We genuinely appreciate it. Savvy, are you a Raylo?
No, I was bullied by Raylos.
You were? What happened?
What do you mean what happened? Raylos
I
are
didn't
just
believe in
bullies.
Ray.
Yeah, they're just horrible humans.
Yeah, they're terrible people.
I've never experienced this bullying from a Raylo.
You don't need to or want to.
Clemson came in and says Melee K greater than Mazza. Look at that. Welcome to the club, apparently. Yeah, it's been I don't like I said, I don't know the Star Wars community at all. This is not my world. So the Raylo thing is really fascinating to watch though. So just to Blabs, you say they're all mean and
for the most part, they're pretty mean and nasty and aggressive. They are like the Disney Star Wars fan base. That is who they cater to.
Yeah, they actually. So Adam Driver does not want to ever reprise the role of Kylo Ren, or Ben or
Yeah.
whatever, because of them, because they believed that it was completely socially normal to go up to him in person, tell him to divorce his wife and get with Daisy.
Yeah.
They made him so uncomfortable. He
Mhm.
hates Star Wars, and he's been vocal about it. He says
Mhm.
that he'll never do it again. And that's
Yeah.
really messed up. And these are the people who gathered on Tumblr. They would bully people not only on Tumblr, but off of it. They'd chase people off the internet. They would dox people simply for drawing the wrong thing.
Yep, and these are the people that they catered to for the Acolyte with that whole bad guy, good girl type of relationship with the stupid dude with the helmet and a man law.
I have a
character.
question. As
Answer.
I'm just glancing through the wonderful support that the normal men have thrown our way today. Based off these super chats here at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, I think maybe you just don't ask questions and then just go back and watch after.
I'm just wondering.
Listen, it's fine, Craig. Don't wonder, don't question, just consume.
No, I think it's important.
No, everyone else here understood what was going on. You just happened to not be here, so now you've missed out, and now you should be punished for it and ignored.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I clearly missed something
Yes.
very, very important along the way. Thank you for that. Stay-at-home Hippo came in, says Sega is removing the Dreamcast collection from games off Steam, deleting Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, and others on the storefront. Game preservation is necessary. Yes, call up Jack Sparrow to play. That's right. Maybe hit the high seas for this one for sure. That's coming out here in December for sure. Kane's Brain says, how much you all think we're going to get lectured during acceptance speeches during Jeff's fake game awards? I think we will definitely. There will be. Now, I'll say this, I was very surprised that there was actually very little politics last year on the Game Awards. But I think this year there'll be someone will say something in some sort of acceptance speech that is crazy. Speaking of Game Awards, the real Game Awards, every single category is available for nominations right now. And coming up in December, we're going to start voting on them. By the way, speaking of the last category, do you know what the final category was, Sav, that was made available for nominations? Best Jiggle Physics. And I'd like to make an announcement right now. At the Real Game Awards in January, the presenter of the Best Jiggle Physics Award will be Madam Savvy.
It seems fitting that the individual with no jiggle physics will be presenting the award for Best Jiggle Physics. That is true equality and wholesome behavior.
That's right. That's right. So you guys head on over there. Go to therealgameawards.com. Use promo code SIDESCROLLERS to get $5 off your voting membership over there. We had a lot of closing in on 600 voting members over there, which is spectacular. So head over there to therealgameawards.com. Use promo code SIDESCROLLERS and become a voting member
request.
now. Yes.
Could you possibly maybe one day just make a promo code jiggle?
Tomorrow we'll have that promo code up for you.
Welcome, fam.
Sounds good. Silence, you idiot, says Digimon Digital Champions. As a kid, with ADHD and no autism, Digimon World and Harvest Moon were addicting.
Oh, yeah.
Wampastapa says Digimon was always better. Playing Digimon World Next Order right now. Did anyone else see the Digimon vs. Godzilla V-Pet coming out? Looks awesome.
No, what? I need to buy this right now.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Thank you for letting me know. I had no idea.
Did you see Kay? What?
I'm so happy right now. This made my whole day. Thank you.
That's great stuff. Thanks, Flash. Appreciate that. Rayla's and all shippers belong in prison. Jesus.
I agree.
Wow. That's a bold statement right there. Blabs, how about you take us the rest of the way, starting with Kratos of Kratos says, people only fear what you don't understand. I know you because I am you. Take us the rest of the way, Blabs.
Okay, Crazy says Blabs is savage, Ruthless Savvy, Crazy K, new nicknames at this moment. Love this episode. Thank you, Crazy. Ed says Slippy Savvy here. You belong on Better Call Saul. Walt will call you to remove the drugs off Jesse. Mr. B Steve says when I say Savvy is gonna be savage soon, this is what I mean. Mastagawa says, I pray for my life every time I mess with Savvy, but someone has to risk it. Chat friends, please pray for me that I don't end up Madam Savvy's prey. She's not going to eat you, bro. Or maybe she will, I don't know. Ed Song says, Savvy made them an offer they can't refuse. On the day of her daughter's wedding, you can start by acting like a man. Wait, says, just like Kay's latest fan fiction.
Oh man,
Wait.
wait, published.
You started this, Wait, and you know it, okay? This is your fault.
Wait's the
Matthew
best.
says, don't worry, Savvy. I'm used to being ignored by beautiful women. It's high school all over again. Rough. Axe Prime says, Virtua Fighter is a tame in comparison to other fighting games. I'd be more worried if Dead or Alive was coming after how KT messed up DOA 6.
You can find Booba in DOA 6, by the way. PSA, guys. You just have to spend a lot of money on really crappy microtransactions, which I did because I'm a whore for DOA 6, but I'm DOA in general. But you can, just not on the main screen.
Over on local, Zorak sent a $50 tip. Holy shit, Sticks. Let me just find the titties for you. There you go. All right. He says, just a normal innocent donation for some normal innocent men. Thank you so much, Zorak. Spoon Ninja sent a $1 tip saying, make Savvy's boobs great again.
Hey, Zorak, thank you very much. Hey, speaking of Savvy's boobs, promo code JIGGLE now available on the realgameawards.com. $5 off your voting membership. So you can either use side scrollers or Jiggle to get $5 off your voting membership. This is the social experience here, this experiment here to see what matters most to people. And I think I know what people will choose for their promo code.
Okay, over on Rumble, let me grab these. Two's News says she left. Yeah, right. She is fired, Mr. McMahon voice.
You're fired.
Marlin for 5 says, you hire them to fill a checkbox. She hits 2 of them. She's retarded and a woman. Mighty Megatron says, I agree with Savvy. Do your own thing. You have fun, but don't preach to me. The problem with the left is they try to force shit on us, what to say, do, and think. Nah, fuck you. Don't tell me what to do. Mongoose says, Craig, please send a portion of this to Savvy to help fund a Charlie Kelly's schizo board for her background. Just don't give her all of it. The only woman I trust with this much cash is my fiance. Marlon sent 10 says the Trump the day before the election was doing 4 rallies in MI till 3 a.m. Probably got back home around 4 a.m. and gave his acceptance at 2 a.m. He's 78. There are young streamers who bitch and do less.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right on that one. He must be pumped up on caffeine there. Okay, back to Tube says Ed says Metal Gear Savvy, a weapon to surpass Pokemon.
On the Trump thing, he actually doesn't drink. He doesn't drink caffeine like that. He doesn't drink coffee. I don't know if he has soda. I don't think so. But he doesn't drink at all either. He doesn't like drink alcohol either.
That's crazy, man. Crazy.
The Orange Man says, fuck, marry, or kill. Zangief from Street Fighter, Black Panther from Marvel, Tentacle Emperor from Baldur's Gate 3. Also, well, he died. I told you that.
Oh, sorry, I'm dead. Sorry.
None.
Can I nuke them all? What is the Tentacle Emperor? I'm scared to know.
Yeah, is that some hentai shit going on from Baldur's Gate?
Yeah.
I don't know. No thanks. Pass. Thank
Baldur's
you.
Gate is all horny, so I'm assuming so.
Pass. Thanks. Abdulio says those Sega games are all just the ROM files, which is why they're moddable. They're ROM hacks. When Sonic Origins came out, they moved the cheaper ROMs. Abdulio says the Genesis Classic did come out during the NES, SNES Classic craze, but it wasn't a high quality as what Nintendo did. Lord Spleech says Double Dash sucks. Fuck Zero GX for life. We got that one before. I think I must shut up again. Thank you very much.
I like half of your message.
By the way, you were asking about the Emperor here. Here we go. Check out this bad boy.
Ew!
What the fuck is that?
Savvy's like wood.
No, so I don't do the self-insert
what the fuck
shit.
is that?
Would watch. Not would.
Like a cup?
I don't want to experience anything.
Anyway.
Look, I'm very specific in the way that I consume my fiction, all right? I don't believe in self-inserts. If you're going to observe fiction, it's an observational experience. It's not something that you self-insert into. If you do, then that's fine, but it's not for me. Anyway, 3D Pig, 2D Pure. This is crossing the line a little bit for me. A little, but, it's fine.
Anyway, moving on. Ed says Craig looks like he escaped, but that was just a proof of life. They CGI his room too, not normal. Then suddenly flicker and you realize you are in a pod. Thanks, Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
Soul
Appreciate
Silver says they must really dislike you if they gifted you Dragon Age Veilguard. I never wish this to even the worst of my enemies.
Nightmare is lovely, but he likes to see us in pain. That's why we got gifted it.
Beardo's Dummy Thick Peach says, many men wish death upon me, blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. Savvy, probably. Ed says, give Lord of the Ring Gollum and Dragon Age Veilguard to your loved ones this Christmas. They will truly know how much you love them.
Right.
Alanah is the person that said that parents are situationally disabled.
Yes.
This same matrix has heavy accent as situation disabled. Food for thought. Thank you, Ed. John says, this is what happens when people who just want to be left alone aren't left alone. Normal men unite.
Correct.
Master Gawa says, all women make fan fiction. They don't always write it. We need more Vivian James fan fiction. Women need more bullying. We bullied Kamala. We saved the world. I don't think women need more bullying. Just certain women. Soul Server says, they don't want to admit their own mistakes and don't know how to genuinely apologize and will blame everyone because of their pride. Mercenary says, I have been told there was over 100 attempts on Orange Man since 2016. Remember the Hawaii alert about the missile? That was one of the public ones.
Wow.
Ed says, Caesar had mercy. Augustus will not. The successor will not have luxury. Tex says, wait, Savvy, what's worse than BlackRock?
You're going to have to follow the financial train for yourself.
Marksman says, they care about Ukraine, but have they talked about the war, the new Russian offensive that broke through their front lines, lack of manpower? Shut the fuck up. Spawn Freak says, you should say Rev says Desu on sometimes. Despite being a femboy VTuber, he's very much a normal man. I have emailed him. Yeah, I've been ghosted. Patio Furniture says, it's N7 day. Moment of silence for OG BioWare. Yeah.
Yep.
Speedy Cake says, a moment of silence for Savage Jiggle Physics.
Yep.
Use promo code Jiggle.
I have DOA 3, so I have Spartan Jiggle Physics, Savvy.
Yes, Nicole from DOA 4. She's in the Spartan suit, and she actually canon has the biggest bust size in all of Dead or Alive.
Mm-hmm.
Kay actually magnified everybody to make sure and used a measuring tape.
Went in with her with her cursor.
I was right in there. I was zooming in.
I actually have one of these right here. Let's see. Aha.
That's right.
Agent Seller says Sega removed Crazy Taxi from Steam after Tim Waltz played it to prove he was a pro gamer. The guy can't catch a break. Tomas says Savvy sacrificed to extreme jiggle physics for extreme autism. Worked out in the end? I think so. But man, Tisk makes you think of what could have been. New fanfic title, The Dream of Dee Dee's Gone. Double D's, I should say. And D-Day says someone on the panel writes great office fanfic. Well,
Oh, what's your OTP?
Weird.
Yeah.
What does OTP mean? I don't know.
Oh, come on. You know, it's one true pairing.
What is that? What that means? I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what that actually means. One true pairing, like your favorite, your ride or die fan fiction go to. If you're
Is this
ever in a
what
bad
Raylo
mood,
fans
that's what
do?
you pull out.
I just know
What is
C is original trilogy. I don't know what the P is. Well, I mean, I do, but not in that sense. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now. Okay.
John came into the 5, says the best side scroll hers has arrived. Welcome back, Craig. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yeah, Craig totally derailed our women's stream and boob talk. I'm just saying,
Sorry.
don't do that ever again.
Yeah, I should probably leave for the last little bit of the show. See if you guys.
No,
can
you
start
should have
talking
just
about-
never showed back up. We were having a great time without you. I'm just saying.
Really?
Yeah.
They should have texted me. I gladly would have taken the day off.
Well, I didn't have my phone on me. I was working. I was doing this.
Listen, if you don't want me to show up, fucking A. Awesome. I love it. Oh, it sounds great. I don't need listen, that's a great day. Delta says when Alanah, Pearce, and Chris Raygun start talking, say stuff like this, I can't help but go, why aren't you more mad the Democrats ran a bad candidate? And he followed up, says, actually, Blabs, Alyssa might be down for a normal conversation in a couple of years. Frost of G4 infamy went on a small podcast that I think Craig, Brianna Wu, and Neon have been on, and it was surprisingly cordial. Yeah. And then followed up one more time. Delta says, that was the most anticlimactic announcement for the Jiggle Award. I was half convinced Blab reached out to the $50 tip woman to do it. Thank you, Delta. Appreciate that. And then Cryptic says, I feel bad for the guys Blab's dates. Got it right gotta here, be bro. Measured before and after. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, that's fun. Thank you for that, Cryptic. Appreciate that. All right. Well, Blabs, I'll tell you what. How about you take us out?
Okay. Well, first of all, Kay, where can the people find you?
Well, thanks for having me on. At Melee Games, you can find us on Twitter, YouTube, pretty much everywhere. Twitch, it's like Melee Games Plays, but otherwise, yeah, at Melee Games. And tonight we're going to be doing our own little podcast. So if you want to see me go on autistic rants about things, that's where you can find me.
Okay, and Savvy, where can they find your tism self?
You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at Madam Savvy. I don't even know what day it is.
Today's Thursday.
I'm sure there's a stream in there somewhere at some point.
Way to
You're
go,
on top
Sav.
of it.
Really
Way
organized.
to go, Sav.
Anyway, you
go.
can find me on my own shit. I'm really close to 5K, so if you're not subscribed over on my YouTube channel, that'd be cool, and subscribe over there. Thank you. Anyway, you can find Craig on his socials, but nobody really cares. All right, people are gonna try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys gotta go get it. We'll see you tomorrow, Friday, noon Eastern. Fatality.